It ain't no problem.
The easiest part is whenever it's like just a full, like you get like a nice 45 seconds. Yes, no editing.
Yo.
The one when you have to edit, I'm like I get like a 2 minutes. Like fuck, how am I gonna edit 2 minutes? Like
yo, those are the
50
worst.
50 seconds. And I'm like I want everything in this.
Those are the worst. Yo, fuck. Like the worst is like I don't like to look at the clock. I like to just friggin' because I don't want to think a minute, right? I don't want to think about taking out a good part to edit. So I just let the clip run. I let the clip run, and then I'll be like, okay, I know for sure this is the end. I know there's stuff I got to chop out in the middle, but I know this is the end. And then it's like a minute 43. I'm like, fuck.
Yeah, I hate those.
Because it's like it's not even like you're not even cutting it down to a minute. You're cutting it down to like 46, something like 46 seconds. You have to cut it down to with intro and outro. That's just too hard.
That's why I started bringing the outro a lot further too.
Yeah, for real.
I got started a little bit earlier, and I'll lower the volume of the outro a little bit.
I'm trying to use the outro as the punchline. That's how I'm viewing the outro right now. So it's like whenever the punchline hits,
that's when the outro starts.
That's when the outro hits.
Yeah, that's what I tried doing recently too. I noticed.
But no, yours blends in better. Yours is like a blend fade outro. Mine is like a punchline outro.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
But like they both work well, I think. They both work really well. I think I'm ready to go up in this motherfucker.
Start it.
You start it? All right then. Let's get it.
Hello.
Welcome, guys, to another episode of the True North Views podcast. Yo, I can't believe we just gave away our Instagram secrets.
Stop. I was say stop listening, but no. Keep listening.
Keep listening. And tell us if you guys can determine
who made what clip.
Who made which clip.
Jeez.
That would be crazy.
Jeez.
If on every post everyone was like, okay, I can tell so-and-so made that.
Yo, I want to see that.
I can tell Shola made that.
I want to see that.
I can tell Harris made that.
I want to see that.
That would be sick.
Show us.
That would be sick. But yo, welcome to another episode of the True North Views podcast. Hey. What are we at now? 15?
15.
Episode 15. Vince Carter. 50. We out here.
Who else is 15?
Who else wore Mike Miller. No, who wore 15 on the Raptors that year? And everyone was saying it was disrespect. Was it Amir Johnson?
Amir Johnson was 15.
Who wore 15?
Let me do the Googles quickly.
Do some quick Googles.
15.
We can't even start the show until we do some Googles. They're not going to show you though if you do that kind of Raptors.
Trust me, Google is messed up like that. Yep, uniform numbers. 15. How many people have worn 15? 4 players have worn 15.
For the Raptors?
Yeah, Vince Carter. Jorge.
Garbajosa?
Yes.
I remember that when Garbo wore that.
Amir Johnson, you're right.
Amir.
And then Anthony Bennett was the last one.
Bennett was trash.
He's so dude.
Bennett was trash. Anyways, I can't end off on that negative energy. So 15, Vince Carter, we out here. You already know what it is. It's a True North Views podcast, guys. It's your go-to podcast to start your week.
Hey.
It's your favorite podcast. It's your favorite podcaster's favorite podcast.
Straight up.
Toronto's official unofficial podcast.
Skirt. We are the kings of dope criticism.
Straight up.
The Pharaohs of Prolific Opinion.
Mama.
The Emperors of Elevated Thoughts.
Get it. It's your boy Harris here.
You can call me JustShola.
And as usual, we're giving you our views from the perspective of a couple of first-generation Canadians on what's really buzzing, what people are talking about, and most importantly, what people are not talking enough about. Now, I have a very interesting feeling today about today's episode.
Why?
We got a lot of heavy hitter topics.
Yeah, a lot happened the last week.
A lot of heavy hitter topics.
A lot happened everywhere.
Before we even start the topics, let's give a shout out. Let's give a shout out to one of the viewers.
A day 13er?
This is a day 13 viewer. So, he got in right before the price went up.
Right about to skyrocket, yo.
He got in right before the price went up.
Buy stocks right now.
But yo, he been fucking with us, man. He's actually from Saskatchewan.
Did not see that coming, but
shout out to the West.
Shout out to Saskatchewan.
The prairies.
The Rough Riders.
The wheat, the barley. We thank you for potatoes.
Are they potatoes? I thought Halifax was potatoes.
I thought that was seafood.
Okay, I don't know.
I thought they were like grains and shit.
Saskatchewan?
Potatoes, grains, and all that shit. We thank you for the Dempsters.
Dempsters from Saskatchewan?
The Wonder Bread. I don't know. I'm guessing.
Let's ride with it.
We don't fact check.
Thanks for all that.
We thank you for all things wheat and barley.
And everything Saskatchewan gives us.
But no, man, he actually tweeted that he's been waiting for a while for a Canadian podcast that covers hip hop. He says he fucks with us heavy.
Yeah, shout out to that guy, man. I respect that.
That's it. That's it. So shout out to him, man.
Too.
That's it. Pause. But we fuck with you too.
Wait. Cut the beat.
Hold on. I gotta shout out his name real quick.
Oh, okay. Yeah, shout out and cut the beat.
Twitter, J to the Lawson. That's the letter J to the Lawson.
That's a nice.
Shout out to you.
It's a nice Twitter handle. So I can't even lie.
Pause.
Cut the beat. No, pause.
Cut the beat. Let's cut this beat. What up?
Drop the socials.
Drop the socials. Okay.
I'm trying to do this before and after.
You're right.
At the beginning and at the end. I'm making a mental note right now.
You're right. We gotta drop the socials more. You're absolutely right.
Tell them to know how to talk to us so we can shout them out.
Because it's important for everyone to tell a friend to tell a friend. To tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend to tell a friend. 6 degrees of separation, like we always say. You can find us on Twitter, on Instagram, at True North Views, all one word. That is TrueNorthViews. We are on a multitude of platforms. Have you ever Googled us?
I actually have not. I feel like that's too conceited.
Fam, Google us.
I'm about to do that right now.
Google us. We are on Apple Music. Sorry, not Apple Music. We're on technically iTunes,
We're on
but
Apple Music. Real
podcast niggas know that you got to say Apple Podcast. You got to say Apple not Podcasts. iTunes.
Yeah, it's not.
So we're on technically iTunes. We're on Apple Podcasts. We are on SoundCloud. We are on Google Play. We are on Spotify.
Jeez.
We are on what's the next one?
Is there anywhere we're not?
I forgot what the next one is called. Shit.
Podbay? Are we on Podbay?
I don't even know, man. We're on a few of them.
We're on everywhere.
But hey, listen, if you search on Google, True North Views Podcast. Let's do this real time. Let's see what. Let's see.
SoundCloud.
Wait. What link on the screen is it? Is it like page 5 or is it the first link? The second?
It's the first link.
Okay, the very first link is our SoundCloud.
SoundCloud.
Okay.
Second link is Player FM.
Player FM.
Third link is Instagram. Fourth link is it's to be.
Fourth link is to be decided. We're working on the website, guys. Don't worry, that's not a fake website. We're working on one.
We're working on it, exactly. It's still dummy text.
Dummy text for now.
It's work in progress. Fifth link is Castbox. Apple, iTunes. Oh wait, that's not even us. Facebook.
Facebook is the 7th link. We're working on that too. Linktree. Shout out to Linktree.
The other one's not us, and then now I'm on the second page.
You know what?
Our Instagram's on the second page.
It don't even matter because that's more than good enough. You search True North Views Podcast on Google, the first 7 links is us.
Yeah, that's telling you something, yo.
Say less. Say less.
More.
Where do you want to start, man? We got a lot of shit, man.
Let's do sports and get it out of the way because I feel like we have so much more music and entertainment than sports.
Let's get some sports out the way. So let's start with, of course, LeBron James.
Shout out to the GOAT.
LeBron James. Yo, is he officially the GOAT now?
I feel like this put him in the upper echelon of GOATs.
This, for me, the fact that, and a lot of people say it, the fact that like he's done so much still while in his career. He hasn't even done post-career yet.
Yeah, right? He's still in his technically prime.
I kind of look at him on the same plane, and I'm not comparing the acts because it was a different time in history. Mm-hmm. But you almost put him Ali-esque in terms of Ali's greatness, because a lot of people say Ali's the greatest boxer of all time. He's not. He's really right. He's not. If you want to, if you're talking, great of a boxer. I don't know boxing like that. He's top 5. I would say he's undisputed top 10.
But he's not.
He's top 5 on most people's list. But he's not like
he's not Michael Jordan. Like where like 9 out of 10 people are saying he's number 1.
In that sense, it's like it's almost like, and I don't want to do him any disrespect by this, and I don't want to do the other party disrespect by this, but it's almost like saying he's Kobe.
Okay, so you're saying like he's definitely
no disrespect to either side.
Hall of Famer, first ballot. Like,
but now let's say Kobe did some, I don't know, whatever. I can't even envision how this country and this world gets better. But you know what I'm saying? Let's say he does something that's undeniably like Gandhi level of humanism.
It raises that bar.
It would raise his profile. That's kind of what it is with Ali. But this to me, man,
It's honestly.
I don't want to officially say it yet, but listen, it's all status. Good. So obviously everyone knows at this point what LeBron James has done. He's opened up a public school back home in Akron, Ohio.
I Promise.
Is that the name of the school officially?
I think it's I Promise. I think it's sponsored by Apple.
I was about to say, whoa. I was like, whoa, okay.
I made that up, but it's called I Promise.
I mean, I heard it called the I Promise School as well, so I was just like wondering if that was official or not.
And the PS.
I want to talk a little bit first about what happened over the weekend, where I think it was Friday night or over the weekend. I don't remember exactly when. Trump goes in on LeBron.
I saw some Twitter stuff about that.
So Trump tweets, LeBron James was just interviewed by the dumbest person. Let me get that again. LeBron James was just interviewed by the dumbest man on television, Don Lemon. Sad. He made LeBron look smart, which isn't easy to do. I like Mike.
I don't know why.
POTUS. Yo. I'm going to talk about that a little bit. He tweets that. Mm-hmm. Now that would make you think that they're ripping Trump. They're going in on Trump.
Did they go in on Trump? I didn't watch this interview.
I decided to watch the interview with Don Lemon. It's nice and short. It's about 15 minutes.
Okay. I'll give it a shot.
And the very first thing Don Lemon says, he opens up the discussion by, talking about the opening of the I Promise School, right? So it hasn't really gone in any negative direction as of yet. So Don and LeBron, they're talking about what it's like to grow up being Black in America, what it's like to open a school, what challenges he's faced as a youth, how important mentorship is to him. That's one of the main mottos of his school. I guess sort of mission statements is to make sure that everyone, has a mentor. Everyone has people that they can, know that they care about them and their work and things like that.
It's not just go to school, come back home.
Exactly.
It's like a lifestyle.
Exactly. So again, it's just, talking about all of those different, types of information. Nothing really
So why was Donald Trump? Why is Trump so mad?
So I mean, of course, they brought up Trump, right? So they brought up Trump. He quickly asked LeBron about some of the things that he's tweeted in the past about
Trump. You're
a bum. But he didn't say, "Oh, why'd you say you a bum?" The way that Lemon phrased it was more so like, listen, Trump, you've seen Trump go in on people like Steph Curry, for God's sakes.
Yeah, Trump's Trump.
So as an example, when Steph Curry already says, I'm not going to the White House, you can't revoke your invite to somebody that already said they're not going.
I'm not coming, yeah.
Right?
That's just pettiness.
Exactly. So LeBron just kind of said that. He's like, if you know Steph, he's a model citizen. He, has a happy family. He has a good message with his daughters. He, only positive things to say about Steph, and he showcases it on the court as well. So it's like, for you to do that, come on, it doesn't really make sense. So that's kind of like the one time Trump's name came up, and then they quickly moved on. And then the second time Trump's name came up, they had asked LeBron, would you run for office? Or Don Lemon had asked LeBron, would you run for office? He kind of laughed it off. He's like, nah, man, that's not for me. And then Don Lemon was, okay, so let's say, recruiting, obviously talking about basketball to some extent. If, there was nobody else and you had to run in order to stop Trump from being elected again, would you do it?
Hell yeah.
He's like, okay, yeah, I guess I would, I would do it if there was no one. If there was no one, I guess I would do
That's
it.
That's how you said it?
Yeah. And then I think Don Lemon said, what would you say, what would you ask or what would you say to Donald Trump if you were sitting right next to him or if you're sitting across from him? And he was like, I wouldn't sit next to Donald Trump.
Oh, that's bars. That's bars.
That was kind of like how he ended it, right?
Bars.
So, I mean, obviously Trump is in petty mode and tweets that shit. I just wanted to make sure that was mentioned for anyone that didn't really catch that one. But no real discussion there. I mean,
fuck Trump.
Trump's being petty. We're not making this a political podcast, so nothing really to say there.
Let's talk about the I Promise School.
Let's talk about the I Promise
This is something we've not seen, or I've not seen at this big of a level. In our lifetime, a celebrity, a star, a mega star, a household name in LeBron James, opening a school for underprivileged kids, and the stuff that you're not just opening a school saying go to school. It's also the stuff he's providing. I think a big thing is that it's a public school. Yeah, and it's a
So
public.
it's not a prep school. It's not a private school. It's not an academy. It's not something that's only going to be, attended typically by,
The rich.
non-people of color, or we could say the rich, which again usually are not people of color. So it's not that. It's a public school. It's meant for, at-risk youth. It's meant for people who are underprivileged. It's meant for people that don't have, those luxuries that other students might have.
You see what's in the school? Free tuition,
Free tuition.
free uniform, free bicycle and helmets. Which I think are you going to talk about the interview with
Nichols?
Yeah, where he says he at one point he just had to ride his bike to school.
Yeah.
He was almost homeless when he was like in grade 3 or something. First of all, no one knows this about LeBron.
LeBron, it was mentioned on, was it Flagrant or was it Brilliant? LeBron's story. They said LeBron's story is very underrated.
It really is. Because of his stardom, people underrate where
he's gone through a lot. And again, I am repeating these words from one of those 2 podcasts. So, I do acknowledge that. They said like his mom had drug problems. Yeah. He was homeless. And LeBron has mentioned that as well. He was homeless. His father, I think, was killed.
Was he?
Or just didn't grow up.
He was in jail at one point. I think.
I forget the story. I forget exactly what's going on there. And then, again, just discovering basketball, knowing that he can now make something from it. He's still piss poor at this point. You know what I mean? Like, of course I would go to the league if I'm coming out of high school. You can't even risk those 1 or 2 years in college.
Don't. There's no point in me doing that.
You can't at that point. So, I mean, you want to talk about the Nichols interview? Did you listen to that at all?
No, I thought I would. I never got time to.
I listened to a little bit of it. I mean, it was okay. I mean, she didn't really ask anything too new beyond what Don Lemon asked her.
Yeah.
Or asked him, I mean. She did ask about LA a little bit. He mentioned an interesting thing as well, actually, and I kind of want to get your take on this. She asked him, LA is a little bit more of a project. Not that you
like
guys
the
are
team.
The team.
Okay.
It's a little bit more of a project. It's not a team that otherwise is a little bit more championship ready.
It's not a win now team. It's not a contending team.
Why, so to speak, right? So you mentioned some of the things that we had already speculated. His family.
It's more than basketball.
We said it's more than basketball. What did you say? Business opportunities.
Yeah.
You're not going to join. You're not going to join Golden State. So you're not too far away from San Fran. You know what I mean?
Exactly. Right there in the IT capital of the world.
Exactly. His son, of course, his family. I mentioned that already.
His son's balling. Are they just hyping him up, or is he really balling like that?
I've been asking myself the same question.
But I'm like, are they just hyping him up because he's LeBron's son, or is he like legit like a top 50 in his grade? I know he's only in grade 8 or 9.
Is he still? No, he's not elementary anymore. Isn't he grade 9 now?
I thought he was in grade 8. I don't know.
I don't even know. I guess we'll find out.
We'll find out 5 years if he's in the league.
Yo, did you see fucking Zion is listed at 6'8", 275?
Yeah, he's huge. He's a huge guy. You see how high he jumps? He also had the most vertical at Duke this year.
Fam.
They were doing their preseason training, and they do the vertical jump test, and he had the highest. Fam. But he's the heaviest.
That guy is a specimen. I was watching KD. Who was KD with? KD was watching footage of players. It wasn't with McCollum. He was watching footage of players of Zion, I think. And he's like, yeah, this guy's a beast.
Yeah.
This guy's a beast. This guy's once in a generation.
Yeah, his size is crazy.
I'm a little bit more of a KD fan. Yeah. Not because of the McCollum interview, but just I'm starting to turn the
I think he's an amazing player. I just don't like that he went to Golden State.
I think I'm turning on my opinions on KD, man. He don't care. He don't give a fuck.
He really doesn't.
He don't care what
he's making money and he's getting
thinks.
Those rings.
Like he's saying to you guys, why wouldn't I go and make the best business decision of my life, which is also the best basketball decision of my life, to create generational wealth for me
and my family?
Why do you guys want it to be harder? Why do you guys want me to want it to be harder for myself?
Because we want entertainment.
KD is the fucking man. Yo, he don't care. I'm starting to turn on him.
I give him credit for that move. That move is ballsy, and it worked out. But the man's laughing. He has 2 rings now.
That's what I'm saying. He has 25 million. Because put it this way, you know how people are saying? People are saying like this really demotes KD in terms of where he ranks on your all-time list, right? Like while in OKC, people almost had him ahead of Bird already.
He was arguably
they were calling him the second best small
player.
forward of all time, right? And second best player in the league, which I still think he is on both fronts. But the argument is this. Let's say he never wins an MVP award, right? Let's say Golden State, he has both Finals MVP.
He has a Finals MVP. No,
like his 2 rings, he got both of them.
He bought both Finals MVP? I thought Steph got one of them.
No.
Oh, well, then he has both Finals MVP.
Yeah, so he has both Finals MVPs. Let's say they win 4 more rings with the same core.
Yeah.
And he wins 3 more Finals MVPs. Now he's a billion-time All-Star, a billion-time all first team, 6-time NBA Finals MVP.
That's crazy. Tell me he's not a superstar?
Tell me he's not on your list of top 10 of all time, top 5 of all. You know what I mean?
Like, right now he's top. He's never dropped
from 20 for sure.
Never dropped from top 5 in the league since like for the last 3 years.
In general,
he's always been in top 3 almost all the time. Like,
I think he's the second best in the league.
I would put him third only to Steph and LeBron.
No, I don't even think Steph is. I think Steph trails a lot of people.
No, Steph revolutionized the game, so I give him props. I feel like that's such a big deal.
Rate the revolution.
But Durant is an amazing player. It's not get it confused. Just because he went to Golden State doesn't mean he's bad. He's amazing.
For me, it's like KD can do whatever he wants. Literally,
he can shoot.
Literally, post,
he's 7 foot. You can't block his shots.
Post, free throw line, 15-footer, 20-footer,
under the
corner. You know what I mean? Like
he's all 3 levels.
And his defense is crazy.
Yeah, he improved his defense so much last year.
The funny thing is, on McCullough's podcast, he said he didn't even improve his defense. He didn't. People just started to take notice.
Well, he showed more hustle in defense. He did show more hustle.
More hustle, yeah. I think that's what it is.
He did go off his guy more. He went at the rim a lot more. He showed a lot more.
I think took more pride in it.
Exactly. He may have not worked on it, but he moved around more.
Yeah. Okay. Fuck Katie. Let's. No, shout out to Katie, but let's move on back to LeBron, man. So again, you were reading some shit with the schools.
Oh yeah, free tuition. Oh, I said free tuition. Free transportation if you live within 2 miles of the school. Amazing. Free lunch, breakfast, and snacks.
Now, keep in mind, I'm going to play minor devil's advocate just to get people to understand. Usually, public school systems do have free transportation within a certain range. So some of these listed things are kind of just public school things already, but some of them you can tell is LeBron making an extra effort, like the ones you're about to read.
Like the free breakfast, lunch, and snack. I do believe.
That's crazy.
We were in high
breakfast,
school,
lunch, and
we got breakfast, but we had to pay for it.
Yo, what was it? Yo, tell them what it is. Yo, hold on. This is not that long ago. We're not that old.
We're not that old.
So this is like fucking.
It was almost 10 years ago.
It is 10 years ago.
Oh, this is damn near 10 years ago.
It is fucking 10 years. Wow. 10 years ago. That's not that much. Dude, adjust it for inflation if you want. It's not that much, I promise you. For 60 cents, please, Shola, tell them what we get.
We're getting grilled cheese, like a proper 2 slice. You get that
on whole wheat bread.
Whole wheat bread, properly grilled cheese. You see, like it's brown too. It's nicely
and it's
toasted.
being freshly made.
The butter's on your fingers when you're eating it. It's on the tissue when you're trying to hold it. You get a nice little Allen's juice box, and you get a nice apple.
Not that it was grapes.
No, sometimes you get apples, sometimes you get grapes.
Oh, I never got
apple. I got apple a few times.
I wanted grapes. Yo,
that was a solid breakfast.
You bring $1.20 to school. You're ordering 2 of those.
Tell me that was not amazing.
You don't even need lunch. So you're getting breakfast. You're getting lunch. You're getting snack as well, provided by the school. LeBron did mention that on one of the 2 interviews. Again, they kind of asked the same questions: the Rachel Nichols interview and the Don Lemon interview. On one of those interviews, he just talked about how important it is. Obviously, you fuel the body, you fuel the mind.
Yeah, for sure.
He said him growing up, when you had his attention, great, but it didn't last long. Obviously, because his body wasn't being fueled, right? What else they got?
Food pantries for families, which is amazing.
Funny thing is, I'm going to cut you off on each of these. Funny thing is, for the interview, he mentioned... again, Trump dividing us and how sports is obviously meant to sort of unify us. Sports color doesn't really matter. It's just like ability, one common goal to win a title, win a championship. He said it's funny because he never really met white people. Like the first white people he met was through sports.
I remember seeing a clip of this.
And then they're like, Don Lemon had said like, what were some of the differences? And LeBron was like, first of all, like, times they ate dinner. Right, so white people were eating supper at 6:30. For me, 6:30 was still the afternoon. For them, 6:30 was the evening. So times that they had eaten dinner. And another thing that he mentioned was he's like, I'd never seen a pantry before. When I was a kid, everything was on top of the fridge, and I remember that.
But that's true. We technically.
I don't have my fridge right now. I got bare shit up there.
I don't. When I'm looking to buy a house, I'm not going to be like, oh, do they have a pantry?
Exactly.
That's not a thing we look for,
right? So it's funny he mentioned that, and then there we go. Now underprivileged youth. Hey, free pantries. Now maybe a bunch of them are learning corn, what pantries are.
Get those those canned vegetables and fruits and stuff.
All right, what else they got?
This is the biggest one for me. GEDs and job placement for parents. That is huge. Imagine your mom, not your mom, but imagine a mother. She had a child early, couldn't graduate school, had to start working, got 3 kids eventually. She's 29. Now she can go get her GED. Now she can go to college after.
That to me is crazy.
Further your education. You can show your kids, look, I'm going back to school to do it, so you can do it too.
That's the thing too. Like you're making an active decision to send your child to the school, and now it's that extra push for you to go to that school, right?
What better way to show your kids?
That's crazy.
And
that's
job placements too.
That's come on.
And they're not doing no stupid job. Like LeBron's gonna get him a nice job.
It's gonna be at least a stable job. At the very least, a stable job, not something that's just gonna fuck around. You know what I mean? That's crazy, yo.
And the last thing was guaranteed tuition to the University of Akron for every student who graduates.
Crazy.
Imagine knowing your tuition is paid graduating school. That's amazing, man.
Another thing he mentioned as well, longer school days. So rather than 8 to 3, they're going to be 8 to 5.
Jeez. But they're probably chilling in this school. Like.
After school programs,
I don't know how the basketball court looks.
It's really, and it's interesting because Don Lemon, or was again one of them, I'm completely mixing up the interviews. In the interviews, I think you're right. Let's just refer to them as that. In the interviews, they had asked them, you're obviously a sports megastar, and you came straight from high school, things like that. Is this gonna be a school that's kind of only focused on athletics? Are they only focused on education? What do you envision, so to speak? And then LeBron was like, it's both. It's everything, right? It's everything. It's really just going back to making sure that the kids know that somebody actually cares about their well-being. Somebody actually cares about them, wanting to achieve something in their life. They're going to have that mentorship going on in their lives as well. And rightfully so. He says this is the biggest move of his career.
I believe it.
This is the most important.
He invested $50 million into this.
And that's relatively nothing to him.
Yeah, it's probably last 2 years.
And relatively in terms of net earnings, right? Net earnings. Obviously, we don't know someone's day-to-day cash flow, but in terms of net earnings, this is nothing to him.
Shout out to LeBron, man. You're changing. Do you expect to see more actions like this from celebrities? And because LeBron's not the first person to make this much money. There's people out there that have made.
He's also he's also not the first person to build a school, right? Like this has been done before.
But when people build schools, they don't go into this much free tuition. They're not helping the kid. Like they're kind of look, I built a school, but it costs you about $20,000 a year to join.
Maybe. I mean, we don't know. Like I know who was it? I think Chris Broussard was on whatever. I just saw it on Instagram. And he was mentioning some other players. I don't know if they specifically had built schools or they have just done things in the past. I think he mentioned Jalen Rose.
I know Chance the Rapper gives to the Chicago public school.
Yeah, Chance does his stuff. And if we're just talking entertainers as a whole, I think he said other basketball players. I think he said Patrick Ewing, maybe.
Really?
I could be wrong, but nonetheless, I'm assuming, based kind of on the tone that Chris Broussard had.
It's been done before.
That it's been done before, and that's okay. Yeah, this is not LeBron's not here to be the first person to do. He doesn't care about that.
He doesn't,
right? So, but it always creates an interesting questions to say: should this become an expectation?
Expectation, no.
Yes, I agree with that. Expectation, no. And I'm gonna go back to, something really simple that one of our unofficial friends have said in the past.
Okay.
And I'm referring to Miko Grimes.
Hey, shout out to Miko Grimes.
Unofficial friend. Really what she said was why the fuck do you need that much money?
That's honestly, I've said that if I have, I have lived off the amount I'm making right now.
That's what I'm saying.
Give me $100,000 more and I'll be living lavishly.
Also, it's realistic to note that expectations do change when your income changes.
That's true.
Right? I'm obviously trying to purchase a new vehicle right now.
But you need a one.
And the rental I have doesn't have a sunroof.
Jeez.
And it bothers me.
Jeez.
And then
how many you do this? You put your hand up to open the sunroof, like, damn.
But it's not, and it's not because I can't do without one.
It's just,
but it's because I can afford one.
Yeah, so it's like, why would I?
Right, so it's like, that's what I'm saying. So I do understand that your expectations become more,
and you're like helping. Like when you're getting out much more now, like you're helping your family out more.
Exactly.
It's not just you. Like when you're making $40,000 a year.
But again, it raises a very interesting question. Does it become an expectation? Like you said, no.
Well, it shouldn't be. Then I'm saying.
But no. I think there is some kind of moral expectation and moral responsibility to do something.
Yeah, for sure. Like you can't have that much money and say, I'm just going to keep it for myself.
Exactly. Give to organizations. Give directly to your communities. Give to your local governments if you truly believe in them. Just waste. Add that income. Give.
give.
Unless you have like a really large family and you're giving to the family, then you're still giving.
You're still giving, yeah.
But it's not obviously to public causes, if we want to call it that. But I don't know, man. Let's move on from giving things like money to giving a 1-2 pop.
Yo,
pop. What is Shannon Sharp?
Is one of the funniest guys on television.
Shannon Sharp has officially propelled himself to like the funniest guy on network television.
He is so funny. I don't have my phone on.
It ain't no problem. It ain't no problem.
He said, no, let me hold this.
Yo, how did he set that up? He's talking to what's his name again?
Stephen A. Smith.
No, what's his name?
I can't remember.
The white guy.
I can't remember.
The guy that has bare hot takes.
I know his face. I can't remember his name.
Stephen A. and I can't remember who he used to be on with.
I know I don't remember his face, but I know his face.
You have the clip loaded?
Yeah.
Yo, run that back.
Oh, Tristan Thompson song. He from Toronto. He from the north. So now you walk up to this man and say, you already said publicly, y'all not cut from the same cloth. Now you want to walk up to him and apologize. Double T said, I tell you what, you got any claws in his face, Draymond? He's like, yeah, well, hang this two-piece suit up.
You got any claws in his face?
You got any claws in his face there, Draymond?
Hold this two-piece up.
Yo, Shannon Sharp is on one, bro.
So, yo, remember when you were smoking Black and Mild on TV?
Yo, fam.
Shannon Sharp. Shout out to Shannon Sharp.
He was smoking it with the nicotine in it. Yes. Or whatever that shit is.
And then he put on the Snapchat again like a few weeks later.
Yo, that guy's on one, man. Shout out to Shannon Sharp, man.
Yo, but let me set this up for everybody.
Go ahead.
Was it game 1 that they win? Well, one of the games in the series, probably game 3 or maybe game 2. Warriors had the lead. I haven't watched the clip recently, and with 5 seconds left, Sean Livingston throws up a jumper. And Tristan Thompson goes in with his elbow, almost attempts to elbow him. He misses, of course.
Oh, yeah, I do remember that.
So he got ejected immediately after that. And as he was walking out, Draymond started doing Draymond things, yapping at him. They were at each other's face. I think they shoved each other a little bit. So at the end of game 4, because, it was a sweep.
The brooms was out.
Green tried to shake Tristan Thompson's hand. Tristan's like, hell no, get the hell out of here.
Petty.
You think that was petty?
That's super petty, man. Come on, man. It's okay. Unless there's words that were said that we weren't aware of.
Yeah.
If the only things that were said and done is what we saw publicly,
then
you have to understand that that's from sport.
That's basketball.
Man. You shake hands.
You gotta be competitive. Yeah. I'm not going to be your friend. I'm trying to win, and then we can be friends after.
You shake hands on the court.
You
shake hands off the court.
Yeah, we're on opposite teams. I'm trying to win.
That's it.
I gotta do what I gotta do to win.
That's it.
I do agree with you there. So after the win, Golden State's parade, he said they asked him about Tristan Thompson, and he said, Tristan, we ain't cut from the same cloth.
Damn. So, yeah, I think Tristan would thrash him.
You think so?
In a fight, like in a fight.
Draymond has that
he has that
short,
like
big
busky,
guy.
Husky strength pause.
Yeah, like he just throws one punch and like, yo, I did not expect it to be that hard.
Maybe actually, Draymond does look like he has maybe one punch power.
Because he's a big guy. He's just in a weirdly shaped body. Pause.
I wonder if Tristan can body him.
I feel like that would be a good fight.
That would be. I think that would be like a really good
let's start the boxing match.
Set that up.
Like how Soulja Boy was supposed to fight with
Chris Brown.
Yeah.
Yo, come on, man. That's
but anyway, Bossip, claimed that there was a party full of NBA players and a bunch of celebrities.
From Bossip.
Bossip. I remember, go search Bossip if you want to know what Bossip is. Of course, Draymond again supposedly went to Tristan saying, "Yo, it's all good. Are we all good? Like,
it's all
it wasn't
love.
that serious.
It wasn't that serious.
And
I apologize."
As Shannon Sharp said, Tristan said, "You got space in your closet." Wah wah.
Yo,
2-piece.
So that's basically the story. Draymond tried to go apologize at an after party. This was for
I don't know what the party was.
I think a LeBron party.
Well, that's again, LeBron and Kevin Durant were supposedly at this party and they broke up the fight. This is all supposedly because both parties have not said anything. Like,
and this is coming from Bossip.
Haven't said
that
anything.
As well.
There was some other verified Twitter account. I can't remember who I saw it that confirmed the story. But then now people are saying it actually didn't happen.
When that person tweeted at the time, "Oh shit, some crazy shit just went down. I can't really report on it right now."
Some shit like that.
And then he retweeted himself from like 2 months ago or something. Some shit like that.
Again, both parties. No one has said anything. People are saying nothing happened. There really is no confirmation that this 2-piece happened.
My only question is this.
Okay.
How many weeks are we away from the Keeping Up with the Kardashians season opener? Because there's a lot of shit. One thing that we do not have on our docket is Kim Kardashian's comments to Tyson Beckford.
Oh, calling him
sis. We all know why you don't like. So we're not even going to talk about that. But she did that. She did the Trump thing a few weeks ago. The prison reform meeting, right? Tristan Thompson's doing this. I think Chloe is clapping back at people as she always is. Kylie's back. Astroworld dropped. We'll get to that later. Everything that's Kanye's stuff.
Kardashian's going to be the Keeping Up with Kardashian.
Yeah, shout out to Seacrest because we see you. We see you producing right now.
He is caking. Like
we see you producing right now.
He's the one with the money in the bag.
Of course he is.
He's the one that's like laughing and everyone's in the spotlight. He's just like, I'm here. Just.
But he's overworked though, man. He's overworked. That guy does a morning show, an afternoon show, American Idol. He's probably like 38.
He's 38.
Probably.
Yo, by 45.
Hey Siri. My phone.
Hey Siri.
How old is Ryan Seacrest?
Ryan Seacrest.
43.
So guaranteed by 50?
Why do we both have male Australian on our series?
Yo, low key, it's the best. Like, low key, it's the best.
Yeah, it is. Pause,
but it is the best voice.
It's just the easiest one to understand.
This is what I think he's going to do. By 50, he's going to be retired. He's going to, all this money he's working for. Like,
he can retire now if he wants.
Yeah, but he's going to make sure he retires comfortably. Like, if I was working the way he is, I'm saving my money. And I'm 50, I'm gone. I'm out of here. I'm laughing, get me a nice little two-bedroom condo with me and my wife. Maybe a 3-bedroom with a house. Travel the world a little bit. Do a little work on the side for money. I'm Ryan Seacrest. Come on.
Seacrest?
He's laughing.
Freelance work.
But,
do you think this is real? Do you think this story is real?
No. I feel like NBA players getting punched would be a bigger deal. Remember when, was there a fight? Someone fought recently with Jared Smith. Or maybe it was a shooting. I don't know. But there was, there's a fight.
That's a wild story to confuse.
Anytime there's a fight, I feel like the NBA would be more serious about this. This seems too
So why? I guess there's always that. I guess conspiracy theory question of why is this even being rumored?
Because it's high.
What's the conspiracy theory like?
Off season, let's get some.
We need clicks.
Yeah, what's happened since summer league in the NBA?
Because there's nothing else to click in the off season, so you got to talk about fucking Dak Prescott not kneeling.
Pretty much.
Who cares? You got to talk about. You know what I mean? I get it.
The fights that might not. So here's my question to you: assuming you are in Tristan Thompson's shoes, actually no, you're in Draymond's shoes, would you ever apologize to him at the party, first of all?
Yeah.
And now he tries to throw you the 2-piece. What are you going to do?
I would...
throw the 2-piece back?
I would fight back for the sake of... it depends. It depends because I trust my hands. Right? So I trust my hands. So what I would do is if he tries to throw a 1-2 at me and he doesn't really connect or he barely connects or he doesn't connect flush, I would just kind of be like, yo, hold up. I'm coming to you man to man right now.
Well, you know, once he throws a 2-piece in a party, you're not gonna have this time for a hold up. Now everyone's just going at each other.
Not
His boys are
necessarily.
going at your boys.
Maybe if we were 20 years old, man. But these guys are.
These are. How do you think
They're a
Tristan
little bit
Thompson
older.
is? Tristan Thompson's like 23, 24.
He's not 23, 24.
Tristan Thompson is young.
Are we gonna
He's
ask Siri
92.
again,
Yes,
bro?
we are.
How old is Tristan Thompson?
Looking up Tristan Thompson. According to my sources, Tristan Thompson is 27 years old.
27, my God.
Imagine you 27, but since you were
I know
20,
what you mean, like a celebrity
you've
27.
You've been millionaire. Like, you didn't grow up. Like,
But-
we've been forced to grow up because we have to live
But
in this real world.
I can only think about it from my shoes.
Yeah. But that's,
So I think there would be enough time. I don't think a fight would just break out from a 1-2. I think more people will be holding back. So I wouldn't be even in an aggressively way saying, yo, da, da, da. I would just be like, yo, hold up. I'm trying to approach man to man right now.
BB with the
And then if
Robins.
he's still wilding out, then it's a wrap. Then I trust my hands.
There you go.
So I'll let the dirty 1-2 kind of slide.
Mm-hmm.
See what it's about, and then be ready to throw hands if they still want to throw hands.
So I'm assuming if you were in Tristan Thompson's shoes now and Draymond approaches you and is like, hey, my bad, you would be like, you know what, I was in my bag, I'm in my feelings, like, you know. It was just a finals.
I would do one of two things.
Or
So
would you
if
throw
I
the
was
2-piece?
feeling like Tristan, so obviously he wanted to throw 1-2.
Mm-hmm.
If I was feeling like Tristan, obviously not wanting to fuck with your apology, I'll just be like, nah, I'm good.
I'm good, love, enjoy, and walk away.
I'll be like, heavy pause, but I'm good, love, enjoy. No, but you know what I'm saying? I'll just be like, no,
Yeah.
I'm good, man, I'm good.
Like-
All right, man, cool, yeah.
We'll see each other in the course.
All right, man.
We don't got to be
All right.
friends.
Yeah, maybe let's just say cool. If you just want to, if you're trying to squash it, I'll say cool for your effort, but I wouldn't really fuck with you.
Mm-hmm.
Or I'll be like, you know what, I get it, man. I get it. It's emotions. It's the finals. We both want it. I would understand. I would empathize at that point, right?
Yeah, I feel you.
That's just me though. I'm not really someone that looks to fight, right?
Yeah,
So
like, we don't look to fight. Fighting doesn't do nothing.
I'd rather have a conversation about it.
I feel you.
So
You know what would have been better?
I guess again, I think all of this is just going to end up on Keeping Up with Kardashians. Like the season to me is already written.
Oh yeah, they do stuff just to get on the show. I
That's
feel like
the
they've
thing.
done
The
stuff.
season is already
just to get
so.
on
I'm
the
gonna
show.
like. I'm. You know what? I'm intentionally gonna pay attention to this season.
Ooh, yo, give me the update because
Of
I am not
Kardashian.
watching them. You know what you pay attention to? Courtney. Because she's the one that's not like.
She's not saying anything.
Oh no, she's had a problem with her boyfriend supposedly. He doesn't like her posting her sluthery. No, what's the word? Whatever.
Slutty?
No, not slutties. I can't remember the word, but
What the
you know
fuck?
where she's looking all good and half naked. He supposedly doesn't like her posting that pictures on his Instagram.
Because he's Canadian, man. You know,
He's Canadian.
We're not
I feel like
feelings.
Russian.
We're in our feelings, man.
No. Yeah.
Wait, hold on. Who are you talking about?
Courtney. You know
I
she's
said
dating
Chloe.
Courtney. You know she's dating the 24-year-old.
Oh, that French guy or whatever he is.
Yeah, they're
Israeli.
French.
What is he?
Yeah, supposedly. That's why I said Mexican.
You know who he looks like?
Russian.
Sasha Pavlovich. Remember him?
Yeah,
On
I
Cleveland.
can see that now. Oh god.
He looks like I think he's French because he looks like that whole like that French look, the Tony Parker, Nick Batum,
That would make sense.
Boris Diaw. Who else
Boris
has that
Diaw.
look? He has that kind of look to him, but I think he's white. I don't think he's light skinned.
Oh yeah, he looks light skinned. Holy.
Is he? I don't even know, man.
Well,
But anyway, so
facts don't
he
matter.
doesn't like her posting those kind of pictures.
Yeah, supposedly.
I
was
mean,
like a
she's
few
not
weeks
going to
ago.
stop,
Well, that's pretty much like that's her brand.
and that not even that's her brand. That's just her person. Like, I guess that is her
that's-
brand, but
that's how
that's
they
her
make their money.
personality. I was going to say,
That's
right?
how they make their money.
So I can see this on the show as well. There's going to be an episode where Courtney's telling Kim
Mm-hmm.
he doesn't like how I pose, and she's gonna be like, "Well, I don't care. I'm gonna do it anyway." Or some shit.
That's a solid
Some
can
shit.
in there.
You know what I'm saying? And then all is good. I
Yeah, he
see the
doesn't mind if I
episodes.
post like that.
I've written 8
This guy's
episodes
working with Seacrest right now.
for the Keeping Up with the
The
Kardashians
Seacrest hired
already.
this man.
I've written
Seacrest
8
hired
episodes.
This man.
Shit, man.
Yeah.
One episode is gonna be Kanye producing albums. One episode is going to be the TMZ stuff and how Kim is taking it and how Kim is facing backlash to defend him.
Mm-hmm.
One episode is going to be her prison reform, and that's going to be the feel good episode.
The one's gonna be about Kylie and the kid.
One's going to be about Kylie and the kid.
and Travis.
Oh come on, man. We see it.
There's gonna be so much shit.
We see it. What else?
Do you think Travis Scott's gonna be on Keeping Up with the Kardashians?
I think he'll make an appearance.
Cool.
I think I'll make an appearance. Why not get a second? Why not get an autumn push for Astroworld for extra numbers?
Astroworld. Yeah, let's talk about Astroworld.
Right.
That music potpourri.
Hold on. Before the music potpourri, do you want to talk about Adam Silver at all with MGM?
I don't know much about this. This is going to be you because I saw it, but I did not. I'm not into gambling and betting, so
Fair.
it's just kind of like, oh, good to see.
Fair enough. Okay, so let's get into that music potpourri then, man. This is some shit you've been waiting for.
Oh, Astroworld finally dropped, guys.
Astroworld dropped.
And this shit was amazing. I'm not even going to lie. I've been bumping it since.
So hold on. Let
yesterday.
me ask you, because you're going to represent the viewers right now.
Hey, you didn't like Astroworld?
Do you want to hear the good news or the bad news?
About
first?
Astroworld?
Just about Astroworld.
Just give me the bad news.
Okay, so the bad news. If we're gonna do the bad news first, let me talk first.
All right, go first.
Because I'm sure you.
I'm about to get mad up right now.
I've been very interested in Travis Scott for the last 6 months.
Yeah, you said that.
Right, and I've mentioned this before. Never listened to him really. Like I can,
on the radio.
I know kind of what he said. Like radio, yeah.
Yeah, like you know the radio.
Radio
hits.
or an event or where public music is playing or something.
Barbecue or some shit.
I know what he sounds like, but I don't really check for his albums. I don't check for his mixtapes, etc., etc.
Fair enough.
Everyone's talking about Astroworld as if it's fucking Detox by Dr. Dre, whatever that shit was called. What was that shit called? It was Detox. Everyone was waiting for it. Dre's never dropping. Dr. Dre's not dropping. Whatever it is, and everyone's making it sound like Astroworld is this a godsend, right?
It's
so
a godsend.
Astroworld drops. I'm like, I'm gonna check it out. I'm gonna listen to it, and I listened to it. The best song on the album, other than the Drake song, is
the Gunna song.
The single.
Oh, the Butterfly Effect.
Yeah.
Okay.
If your best song is your single, that's not a good album.
Okay, I gotta run through.
You gotta please. Change my mind.
Let me put it this way. This is how the album is set up. It's a trip in an amusement park.
Okay.
Each song is a ride.
Okay.
Because if you notice in each song, some songs she changes up like the beat completely. That's like you like going down a loop.
I was tripping out. I was tripping out in the first 10 minutes because I thought I was on like the fourth song, and I looked. I was like halfway through the second.
Because the Drake track, the beat changed 3 times, and every time I had to check, I'm like, is this a different track?
Yeah.
The sickle mode. So every up and down, every song is up and down, has different rides. Some songs are slower, they'll randomly be in the middle. It's a lot slower. Him singing more or someone else singing. He didn't show the features because it's almost like you don't want to know what's coming up in an amusement park ride.
That's a question I had. So okay, that was intentional.
Yes, that was intentional. So every song you don't know. After the first listen, you know what song people are on.
No, of course.
But on first listen, you're like, whoa, wait, where?
Like Academics. Did you see Academics responding to that?
Whack when you
did you see? Shout out to the boy Alex from Need to Know podcast. Ball till we fall.
Shout out to
he posted it. Him and our boy Elijah Horton. Shout out to you too. They both tweeted that.
How you almost 28 and reacting to a man's voice like this?
That shit. And then I played the vid. Ak was like,
he's trying to get that shiggy money. That's why.
He's
trying to get that shiggy money.
Ak, I see your business moves, man.
Anyway,
I see the business. We're going.
Where was I? So he didn't show the features, so you don't know what twists and turns are coming on the ride.
Right.
You just hop onto a song, which is like hopping onto a ride. And you
don't
hear
know
Drake's voice, you hear Quavo's voice, you hear Stevie Wonder, you hear Kid Cudi humming. You're like, wait, what the hell's going on?
Okay.
And then the last thing, the features are like sponsors. So we don't have this in Canada and our Wonderland, but in the States, in Disney World, they'll be like, oh, this ride by Honda, this ride by LG.
Oh, I thought you were gonna say more so like not sponsorship, but I was thinking licensing. Like, remember back then when we had all the names at Wonderland and then all the names became generic?
Oh, I see what you're saying.
I was thinking that, but no, you mean like Skydrop sponsored by Honda. Behemoth sponsored by Pepsi.
So at Disney World and Disneyland, they do that a lot. Like almost every ride has a sponsor.
Right.
They pay to put their name there.
Hey, you gotta get
That's what I feel like the features were. They were like sponsored. Like now you're on this ride and you're with Drake. Like it's sponsored by Drake, and now you're with Drake. That's how. So I'll say, get on that God's green grass. Listen to it from beginning, or no, from beginning. 17 tracks, kind of long.
Yeah, but listen to it in some kind of continuous
and take it as this is a ride. Every song is like a different amusement park ride.
Okay.
And I enjoyed the album way more when I thought of it that way.
Okay, so the same way I kind of sold you on ASAP, you might sell me on this.
Yeah,
Okay.
take it in as just every part's a ride, every song's a ride.
So what? Help me understand. What is the mystique behind Travis Scott? Why is he considered a top 5 artist in the game today?
It's really his production. It's almost like Kanye. And I was going to get to this. He has like Kanye comparisons. I'm not saying he's Kanye's level, but if he produced almost every track on this thing, it's amazing.
Was Kanye featured on the album?
No, Kanye was not featured.
There was times where I thought he was.
No, I think.
So I get what you mean with the sound.
I think he produced it. Like he helped producing it.
Okay.
But it's the way he uses his features. You know the way Kanye uses his features. Like, go look at Life of Pablo. You're like, wait, how do you use a feature like this?
Exactly.
And that's what Travis Scott did. Like on a song that had James Blake, Kid Cudi, and Stevie Wonder, and Travis Scott. How do you put 4 different type of genre music? People that make different kind of music in this, like,
and
not
4
even in
people
the
that you
same-
think would kind of command the spotlight naturally with their
Yes.
stardom.
Yeah, one person sings, one person uses auto, 2 people sing, one person uses auto tune, one person hums. Shout out to Kid Cudi, and he somehow made it work in an album.
Okay.
And when you taking all his features, the way he put Juice WRLD and Sheck West on an album, his features were fucking fire too.
So I guess, and as I was listening to it, and as I was telling myself that, I'm not going to use the word overrated because I haven't listened to it enough to use that, and not enough time has passed for me to say that. But I am going to say overhyped. And the reason why I thought it was overhyped at first, and I'll tell you what I kind of acknowledged as well. I thought it was overhyped at first because it was like, he's not really doing anything beyond the production. But then I kind of said to myself, you know what? I maybe just don't understand art today. Like, you know what I mean? Like, I might not understand this era of music.
It really is part of like this era.
And I'm accepting of that. If I don't understand it right now, it's going to be overhyped to me. And I'm okay with that.
I believe that.
You know what I'm saying? So I kind of said to myself, maybe I just don't get it. Maybe I'm just not fluent enough. Like, it's like Andrew Schultz says all the time with comedy. If you're not adept enough to understand the joke, it doesn't mean the joke was bad. It just means you weren't smart enough.
Yeah.
Right? So I kind of thought it was like with this. I'm like, and that's why I'm not calling the album trash.
Like,
I think it was very enjoyable. First of all, you listen to that in the car.
Yeah, that's what it is. It's not one of those you listen to when I'm bored at home. No, it's more of a let me bob my head, like blast it around my house while I'm cleaning or something.
It's enjoyable. It's like,
enjoyable.
It's like I say with Scorpion. You can enjoy. You can very much enjoy an album and be critical of it at the same time.
I don't think it's that amazing. I'm not going to give it a 10 out of 10, but I think for Travis Scott,
it
was a pretty.
So you answered my question then. Was it worth the hype?
Yeah, okay. It wasn't worth the wait, but it was worth the hype.
Okay,
that makes sense.
That makes a lot of sense. And is it better than what you said? Rodeo was your favorite, or Rodeo, whatever. Sorry,
his first, his last album, Rodeo.
Rodeo. Sorry,
is it better than that?
Yeah. Too early to tell. First impression.
Well, Rodeo was a kind of a different sound too.
Okay.
Travis Scott kind of changed his sound up a little in the last few years. He used to rap a lot more, like without the autotune. And now he just came with this autotune.
Yeah, now he has a distinct sound. Like that's straight up. Like that like distinct.
When you hear his real voice, like, oh, what the hell? But his last one, Birds. I always forget.
Birds in the Trap.
Birds in the Trap or something. Bird Midnight or something. His last mixtape album thing. It was eerily similar to this.
Okay.
But it was much more of a mixtape. You kind of had like that mixtape.
Right. Mixtape vibes where there's like, you don't have to really check for what do you call it? For samples that you're using, that kind of thing.
But he had the same like a lot of features. He's really big on features.
So let's do initial rating. This is just first listen type of rating.
Yeah, I'll give it a 7.5. It doesn't get to that 8. I don't know why. Okay. But it definitely is above average.
I have it at a 7. So I'm actually being biased. I'm giving it not really. No, it was enjoyable. But I didn't think it was special.
Yeah, I don't think it was anything special.
That's my initial. But again, I might change my mind. I want to kind of view it now the way that you were explaining it. Maybe I changed my mind.
I have one gripe with the album. One gripe.
What's the one gripe?
So we finally get old Nav back.
Okay.
Because
shout out to Nav.
Yeah, shout out to Nav from Rexdale.
Is he from Rexdale?
He's from Rexdale.
He's from Malton?
No, he grew up from Dixon and Martin Grove Kipling area. He said before somewhere.
Okay.
He went to Thistledown, not Thistledown. The one on Islington and Eglinton.
Oh, fuck.
And it's a public school. It's not Catholic.
I know what you're talking about.
It's not this.
I don't remember what it's called.
But wait, he went to high school.
Shout out to that wouldn't even that's still North Etobicoke. I was gonna say Central Etobicoke.
No, it's still
kind
north.
of.
It's still north.
That's still North. That's still North Etobicoke. Shout out to Nav. I grew up
What?
in North Etobicoke too. We out here. Just get it.
So supposedly, according to Rap Genius, he recorded this in the room with his brother sleeping. So, because when you hear it, you just think, okay, why is he so low? I thought it was something wrong with my phone.
Yeah.
Why is he so low? And he sounds so good. He sounds like the old Nav because his album Reckless, he was reckless with the autotune. That autotune was whack. Like, he just didn't even sound like Nav.
Right.
And then we finally get that old Nav, which was the track with Gunna, which bombed. Yosemite. Whoo! That's the one track that bumps the head. I probably play that track the most on that
Drake
album.
track to me is crazy.
Drake track.
That Drake track is stupid good.
Yeah. I just want to get Nav. Like, why did they do Nav like that? Like, let's get Nav. A proper.
Maybe that was done like intentionally. Like,
it probably
you know
was.
what I'm saying? Like knowing like how I guess weird in a
It
good
would
way
sound- his
Travis
production.
is, like his production thought process, his production product. It's intentional.
That's why I think.
Otherwise, he could have amplified his voice. You know what I'm saying? Could have waited.
Yeah.
He didn't have to drop
be that. It wasn't like it was recorded yesterday.
Exactly. So yeah, no. I mean, I don't know.
I'll give it a good album. I think there is, in about 10 years, we will be comparing Travis to Kanye.
I agree with that,
his
especially with the
production.
way Kanye's tail end of his career is going. Because that's where everyone kind of blurs the lines with careers, right? Like, you sometimes forget Carter was a high flyer. You know what I'm saying? Like, you sometimes look at him like his New Jersey days, like his, even all the teams he was on afterward, where he was more of a jump shooter.
Yeah.
And when you're comparing a game, like, let's say people were saying, well, Wiggins and Carter play the same. And some people are like, no, they don't. What are you talking about?
I don't see that.
They kind of, like, I'm talking young Carter and Wiggins right now kind of play the same.
But Carter's more efficient.
But
That's
here's
the difference.
my point is this. Maybe, yeah, he was more efficient. But the tail end of Carter's career, like when people say, no, Wiggins doesn't play like Carter, they're not saying Carter was more efficient. They're saying, no, Carter is a jump shooter, Wiggins is a slasher.
No, Carter was a slasher.
But that's my point. I'm saying the earlier part of the career gets forgotten.
Oh, yeah, because we all know
And the
about
late part of the career gets blurred in with the early part of the other person's career.
recency bias.
So now, especially that Kanye in this late stage of his career is more composer as opposed to rapper,
Everyone forgets.
and Trav is more composer as opposed to rapper right now. Now you're blurring the lines, and now they're going to be able to make a legitimate comparison between the two of them. But I think it's a valid comparison, and I think it's okay to start comparing people to Kanye.
Kanye
Because
is not
Kanye's
untouchable.
current rating is not
Current
96 anymore.
Current rating.
You know what I'm saying?
Well, you gotta give the legacy
His
rating.
2K rating ain't 96 on the you know how like they would have like 01 Bulls. I'm just making up a fuck
Yeah.
whatever any year any
Like the
team.
history legacy
01
teams.
Bulls, and then fucking Jordan's rating would be like 97, but then like Jordan today would be like an 83.
I see what you're saying.
It's like that. Kanye's rating today
It's not a 96.
is like a 86.
Yo, you're dissing.
Nah,
You
fuck
are
with you.
dissing.
I'm dissing. I'm not even gonna get into that now. We're gonna
You are
fight.
dissing.
We're gonna fight. We're gonna
Yeah, trust
fight
me,
if
there'll be a
we get
fight.
into that. Now, let's not get into
We'll
that.
get into that one day.
we got something very special with 2K ratings coming up on a future episode with you guys. So
trust me.
stay tuned for that. Trust me, you're gonna want to wait for that one.
Did you listen to Mac Miller or YG?
None.
I listened to part of YG. I'm not even going to lie. It does. I read in the comment section.
First of all, I do fuck with YG,
I do too.
but it's kind of like, did you bump Casanova's album?
I don't listen to Casanova.
Okay, so I
Did it come
listened
out
to
this weekend
Casanova. No, it came out like 3 weeks ago.
Yeah, I definitely didn't.
I
think
bumped.
I
First of
saw
all, it's
it.
really good.
I should.
First of all, it's really good. Like you think Tekashi's hype music, Casanova's another level.
Really?
Fuck.
I've never listened to any of the songs before.
Casanova's another level of hype music. But it's like I fuck with the music, I just don't check for it. So YG I know is nice, I just don't check for it.
I know he did. I saw this thing on Twitter where he made like fun of Travis Scott's album and Mac Miller's album, trying to say like it's all about his album.
Oh,
That
shit,
was-
yeah.
It was just like a friendly, I guess.
But he
joke.
got he has a solid support system.
He really like again.
YG, especially amongst his peers.
His album's not bad. Like I only went about. I was driving, so I was talking to him at the same time.
Yeah.
I didn't hear every song, but when I was paying attention, I was like, "It's YG. Like you know what you're getting, and he delivers it in a good way."
So was it anything surprising, or is it like if you know YG, you know what you're getting?
if you know
Like
YG,
if you know Fab, you know what you're getting.
yeah, if you know YG, you know what you're getting. And it's good. Like it's
Okay.
not bad.
Nothing
YG.
groundbreaking or anything like that.
I have to go get it. I've heard it. I haven't listened to it.
Right.
So this is just my initial few tracks. There's one track with NBA YoungBoy. Everyone knows I fuck with NBA YoungBoy.
NBA
Pause.
Youngboy.
I like that song.
Never Broke Again. Young
Mac
Boy.
Miller, I did not listen to yet.
I didn't listen to. Do you plan on?
I will. I used to listen to Mac
I'm
a
not
lot.
a Mac fan.
I listened to him when...
It sounds too
before it got
corny
signed.
for me.
Oh, let's see how his album is. And Back on Nice came out with something. 4 milli.
I heard, yeah, I
heard
saw
like
that on
3
Tidal.
tracks.
Yeah, I want to
Like,
fucking do
time.
Tidal so bad after my trial's over.
Jeez.
But I don't want to pay that price, man.
Jeez.
Got that family plan.
Spotify. Jeez.
What else?
That's it. Those are
Not a new music report, but did you see the Russ Funk Flex freestyle?
Was it good?
Yo, Russ can spit, man. We both been saying Russ can spit.
I never said Russ is
No,
not
like-
bad. He's just really he just clown upon for some reason.
I think I'm becoming a Russ fan.
Did you listen to his album? Have you listened to his album?
Yeah, the first one.
Yeah, it's not that
I
bad.
like it. I like it. I actually do thoroughly enjoy it. But no, the freestyle was all right. I mean, he was probably performing a song, but I just wanted to make sure I mentioned that because Russ is nice, man.
Yeah, shout out to Russ. He always
shout out
releases
to him.
singles every here and there, and I bumped them.
What else happened, man? What else happened with some music shit? That Rich the Kid shit. That cryptic, quote unquote. That's
This-
everyone's favorite word when they're writing articles.
Cryptic.
Rich the Kid's cryptic tweet sparks controversy. Tell me what happened.
So he tweeted his own death. He's like, R.I.P. Rich the Kid, 1992 to I think 1992 when he was born to 2018. And so everyone's like, oh, is he good? What's
Yo,
happening?
in the morning, I saw that in the morning on the timeline last week.
Yeah.
It was probably like, what day did it come out? Like a Tuesday or Wednesday or
yeah, some
something?
shit like that.
And I looked, I was like, what the fuck? And then I quickly read like the caption, the comments or whatever. I was like, okay, apparently not.
Exactly. That's exactly.
Or
how
like, you know,
felt.
I usually, because you usually see it on 3, 4, 5 pages in a row, right?
Yeah.
So I saw it, I'm like, what the
I
fuck?
saw it on
I scrolled like 10, 15 more posts. I didn't see it. I went on Explorer real quick. I didn't see it. I'm like, okay, it's not real.
pretty much.
Yeah, I can't believe that's how we fucking confirm news nowadays.
Well, that's what social media is.
That's really what. Things aren't even on Google anymore.
Yo, because I'm telling you, people like CNN will probably update their Twitter before they update their website.
That's the thing.
CB24 updates Twitter before they update their website.
So you won't even find things on Google anymore. That's almost a scary thought.
Because they know everyone's on social media.
But it's so instant, right? Like it comes and it goes. If you didn't catch it in that moment, you're gonna have to search the hashtag and then scroll 363 messages before you see that CP24 tweeted it.
That's why everyone's on social media, because everyone wants to be the
They want
first.
to, and that's why they're addicted. They want to see it.
When you go on your phone, the first thing you do, even how many of you brought your phone to check the
Refresh.
time, and next you know you're on Instagram, and then you put your phone away, and like, oh, I didn't even check the time.
Yep.
How
And
many
then
times
you
have you done
refresh.
that?
Every time you go on social media, you refresh. Always.
Yep.
Because you always want to know. It's facts.
So the next morning, he tweets, "I was high. I'm just paraphrasing here. I was high. I'm good. Sorry." I do not like this. How do you feel about this? Because this irked me a lot.
It irks me a lot because
You don't play with suicide like that. I don't care what you're on. Don't.
That's the thing, right? You don't play with it. It's still way too soon, and it wasn't suicide, obviously, in the case of what actually happened, but it's still way too soon from the XXX stuff
Even Lil Peep is not. It's
and
like
the Lil Peep
yeah, it's
stuff.
like a year away from Lil
and
Peep.
you know what I mean? Like, it's still way too soon to even joke around with that. Now, whether or not you were really high, that makes it stupid.
Yep.
If you weren't high and you're lying,
It's still stupid.
that makes you very stupid. So it's like, I guess he's just gonna stick to the story, accept it as a slap on the wrist, I suppose.
He's lost a fan in me for that. I could tell you that. I'm not looking for a Rich the Kid song anymore.
Damn.
Like you don't play with I care you. I know you want to get your views up. I know you need to get your followers. You need to keep the hype on your name, but go about it
So
without.
do you think there
without
should be
suicide.
kind of social media etiquette, or maybe not etiquette, just common sense?
Yes, and this should be one of them. Yeah,
Yeah, I don't
it
even.
should be. I don't know how. It's just I don't know. You just don't play with suicide like that. Just don't play with death.
Don't bring that energy around you, I guess.
Yeah, don't bring that energy. You get what you call for.
You get what you call for. Speaking of getting what you call for, this is actually a solid
Did I call for
segue.
pizza? Is my pizza here?
That was a solid incidental segue there. I want to speak about someone who has deserved everything that she has called for based on her actions. And of course, I'm talking about none other than Roseanne Barr. Now,
That big.
correct me if I'm wrong. Roseanne Barr has a history of racism.
Yup.
She did the Nazi photo shoot thing,
Yup.
Hitler thing.
Yup.
Now, that was in the past.
Yup.
she's also recently done racist things.
Yup.
So that would also indicate that since the quote unquote mistakes of the past, even though they're not mistakes, they're choices, since the mistakes of the past, would you agree that she hasn't really learned a lesson?
She's not learned a lesson. I would agree with that.
Okay, so let's talk about what nobody has really talked about throughout the course of the week, and that is none other than Monique, the Netflix legend, Monique, coming to the defense of none other than Roseanne Barr.
Shake my head, man. Shake my head.
Shake my head for sure. I actually want to play a little bit of that opening audio because some of the things she says is just very interesting. It's like, it's almost as if she's kind of tone deaf to everything that Roseanne is doing. And that to me just doesn't really make sense. Let me see if I can load up that video real quick.
To sum up what I read in all this,
Go ahead.
was just publicity. She wants her name back out there. She wants to sell more shows.
Is this how you want to do it? By any means necessary?
Negative publicity. Any publicity is good publicity.
Oh my God.
I still believe in that.
Let's play this clip. This is off YouTube.
All right, in depth with Tone X in a minute, but Monique is here too. And so we're going to chat about the
She's sitting beside the black
couple
person.
things we got to ask you about. Yeah, we talked about
Yeah.
before the light went on.
This is on the
Your
news,
thought about
KTLA.
Roseanne.
I do. I really do. Should we wait for the break or should we share?
No,
right
we'll
now?
share right now.
You know, Roseanne Barr is my sister in comedy, and she's my universal sister. And what I won't do, Sam, is throw her away for making a mistake. We've all said and done things, baby, that we wish we could take back and swallow and say, oh, but when you're in the public eye, you can't. And it's out there. But to put the title of racist on her, I can only share my experience with Roseanne. I remember when I had the Monique show, and there were big, major black superstar talent that had white representatives. And they told their talent
She
that
starts
show
talking
was
about the
too
Monique
black.
show, blah, 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 blah. Anyway, she's talking about the Monique show. She said Roseanne was the only one, not only one, but Roseanne was one of the people that supported her on the Monique show, even though a lot of black people in power, they were kind of saying, I'll get back to you, in terms of making an appearance on the show or maybe assisting with the show in some way, shape, or form. But more importantly, that's kind of how the convo went on. But more importantly was kind of those opening remarks that she said.
About Roseanne being her universal
It's
sister.
her sister in comedy. That I understand. Because the comedy,
Bubble.
excuse the gender part of it, the comedy brotherhood, including the females, is very strong.
Yeah.
Right? So
Community. The comedy
community. That's a better word. So I understand that. Universal sister as a result, you know what, I kind of get that too. Because if that's your sister in comedy, then you're there for them whether you agree with them or not. It's kind of like how a Pusha T feels about a Kanye.
Yeah, like he's always going to be his universal brother.
Exactly.
You're my
So
brother in music. You're my
that
brother.
I'm okay with. What I'm not okay with is when Monique says, you know, she's made a mistake.
She's made more than one mistake, if quote unquote mistake. But
Right. Now, you know what? Even if it is okay to call it a mistake, every single time it was done, she has a timeline. And that's why I asked you earlier. She has a timeline of doing mistakes, quote unquote, up until today of 2018 or whenever she came out with those recent clips with the Barack gorilla Muslim shit.
it was
That was recent. That was 2018.
and she's still defending her
And still
actions
defends her position. her
because
action.
I did not know she was black.
Yeah.
That's her reasoning.
So now, where's the mistake if she did it in, again, I'm using arbitrary years, if she did it in 03, and then did it again in 07, and then did it again in 11, did it again in 2015, did it in 2016,
There's
and
a
now is still doing it in
pattern of
2018.
Consistency here.
She's showing consistency in the worst way.
She's consistently racist.
Exactly.
So
where is the mistake that you're saying is okay for her?
I don't agree with Monique. I don't think there was a mistake that's out there.
Right?
That's it.
So do you, I mean, you kind of mentioned it earlier. You do think it's just for attention.
Definitely.
I'm going to even go one above the attention. Do you think this is her just being salty about everything that's happened with the whole Netflix deal? Like, is this just her almost wanting to be not attention seeking, but more of a disruptor, like a Raven Simone. Raven Simone is not really seeking attention. Azalea Banks is not really seeking attention. They're seeking to disrupt.
That's true. I see.
Right?
No, I don't think she. What's she disrupting? Like, no offense, but Monique ain't really. I ain't really.
She's not the name no more.
I ain't really searching for her. Like, she's not like Kevin Hart.
Right.
Like, the difference Kevin Hart said is like, whoa.
But
like,
she still has us talking about it, right? Or her name is enough to get us to talk about it.
yeah, but I don't think she's disrupting anything. I think she just. That's why I think it's publicity.
Well, she's disrupt. Okay, she is disrupting something. She's disrupting progress.
Her progress.
She's disrupting Black progress.
Her progress. Black people
Black
don't fuck with
progress in
Monique.
general.
Black
Because
people ain't fucking
you know
Monique
what?
since the Netflix stuff. Everyone's like,
If
Monique,
5
Netflix
people
had
are going to
points.
agree with her, that's 5 people that are going to agree with her. She's still going to have some kind of core fan base. Every name has a core fan base.
Are you boycotting Netflix?
No.
But I know what you're saying. Every
You know what I'm
every
saying? So it's
base,
like-
everyone has a core fan base.
So it's like I just wonder, like,
Do you agree?
you know,
with her,
she says that you know, because obviously she, Roseanne, or I guess Monique, feels that she's being blackballed, Roseanne, but of course ABC doesn't want to take on her show, so everyone thinks Roseanne is being blackballed, right? And Monique's like,
she
I
kinda is.
understand what being blackballed is. Is she though?
Roseanne?
Yeah,
Yeah, no one's gonna work with her.
but
Like, you don't like, after her latest tweet. No one,
so
Would you
is-
take a risk on her? Would you invest
No, I
$10 million
wouldn't. No, I wouldn't.
into
No, I
a project? Exactly.
No, but even
That's
if it was
being
guaranteed
blackballed.
money, I wouldn't.
That is being blackballed.
So is being blackballed okay when it's blackballed with reason?
Yes.
Okay.
If you blackball a racist, anti-Semitic, if you blackball a misogynist, it makes sense. Like, you don't deserve this attention if you think in a certain way.
Right.
It's never
Okay.
being blackballed because, I don't know, you fell downstairs.
So Monique says she understands what it's like to be blackballed. Do you think her blackballedness, what would you even call that, is self-generated?
Monique's?
Yes.
Yes, it's how she went at Netflix.
Or do you think there's really something there? Because you know what, I don't want to write Monique off. And the reason why I don't want to write Monique off is because back in the early 2000s or the mid 2000s, everyone thought Dame Dash was crazy.
I think
Everyone,
he is.
everyone, myself included, kind of treated Dame Dash almost like Monique, where it was like, come on, man, they're wilding out, man. They don't really saying nothing. Who's this Lee Evans won't pay him? Come on, man, you're chilling. Come on, you're wilding out, man. Don't talk about Lee Evans like that. We don't really.
don't know.
Lyor Cohen's of Culture Vulture. Come on, you're silly for saying that. We'll get to that later. Segue.
Hey, hey.
But you know what I'm saying? It's like people spoke about Dame sort of in that same token that we're speaking about Monique today. So I don't want to write her off for that reason.
Okay.
But what I will say is she's wilding out right now.
Wow.
Wildin'. Let's move on to the Lyor Cohen shit, man. So I had a hard time with this
Is he a culture
Lyor
vulture?
Cohen Breakfast Club interview. And that's the ultimate question we're trying to answer is he a culture vulture? And is that acceptable? Is it unacceptable? Are we okay with it? Is it whatever, right? So he did a Breakfast Club interview. Now, for those who don't know who Lyor Cohen is, you've probably heard his name somewhere.
I've definitely heard his name.
In Jay-Z lyrics, in Kanye lyrics, in Nori
I've
lyrics.
heard about him from, is it Chief Keef? He was like a manager of 300 label or
Yes,
something like that
300.
at one point.
I'm 300. I'm 300.
Yeah.
Is that what 300 is when Chief Keef says it?
I think so. I don't
Oh,
know.
fuck, that's it. So anyway, so Lyor Cohen, his current title, which is also very important to understand, is he's YouTube's global head of music,
Damn, that's huge.
right? So
That's big.
that's important context. So context is key here, right? He is the YouTube global head of music.
Yes.
Right now, again, he's a legendary name in hip hop. I want to give a little bit of a background about him. Now, I intentionally took this from Wikipedia because I didn't want to think creatively.
I don't blame you.
So
man.
Cohen moved to New York to take a job at Simmons Russell, Rush Productions. So later on was to be called Rush Artist Management, beginning as Run DMC's road manager. Cohen quickly began taking on additional responsibilities, working on behalf of an artist roster that included the following names: Curtis Blow, legend. Houdini, legend. Run DMC, legend. LL Cool J, legend. Beastie Boys, legend. Public Enemy, legend. By 1987, Cohen himself was signing artists to Rush. These artists include Slick Rick, legend. DJ Jazzy Jeff and the Fresh Prince, legend. Eric B and Rakim, legend. EPMD, legend. De La Soul, legend. Tribe Called Quest, legend. Right? He became the president of Def Jam Music in 1988.
How old is Lyor Cohen?
He's been around for a bit.
Jeez,
been around for a bit.
1988, that was even...
president of Def Jam in 98. And he was one of the co-founders of 300 Entertainment. 300. So 300, of course, they had the Migos, they had Rich the Kid. I'm assuming they had Chief Keef now.
They had another person. I think they had Lil Yachty, like almost
probably the whole QC camp.
Yeah, QC
pretty much.
Camp. Yeah, they had a QC camp pretty much. Yeah.
So their current artists to this day still include Fetty Wap, Hobson. Who else is on there? Thugger's on there.
Thugger.
T Grizzly, Famous Dex, Shy Glizzy, Reggie Snow.
Day Day.
Who else is on there? I don't even know who Day Day is.
He had one blow song 2 years ago. Mike Stud.
So they still got some names.
They got some names,
right? They still got some names. Now, from the interview itself, I don't want to go over the entire interview, but again, context is key.
Yeah,
so
context is key.
He's sort of starting the interview by saying, these kids, I think they have it, in a slippery kind of easy way. What's really got lost in the world of music or in the world of rap music is artist development, but also mentorship has been lost as well. He said, youth nowadays should focus on YouTube music. And
that seems like a self-promo.
That seems like some self-promo.
That sounds like a promo, youth today should invest in True North Views podcast.
Self-promo, right? So they kind of giggle like, well, you're the head. Obviously, you're going to say that. And it's funny because he speaks he's Jewish, right? So he speaks like very, like Hollywood Jewish type of way, right? Because I'm obviously not getting on a whole type of person, but a Hollywood Jewish type of way. But he has these breaks where he starts to talk in a more hip hop way. So they kind of chuckle at him and he's like, no, I'm dead ass. I'm dead ass.
Oh, God.
Right? So
this is hilarious.
He does bring some good points though, right? So what he says as well is that, if you're the same type of label back then that you are now,
you ain't gonna
then
succeed.
Yeah, you're at a position. You're not gonna succeed. He's telling new artists, sign a deal with your eyes wide open. Ask a label, in today's society, what is that label providing me? And in general, he also said, what is a label in today's society, in a streaming society?
Well, that's the whole issue with being independent. I was like, I don't need, before the label had to push your music.
Right.
Now, if you have a buzz on Instagram or on Twitter, you guys release music on your own account and you're good.
Now, here's where I think...
You need a label to push you.
Here's where I think Cohen has a point. He's not referring to only the push, because as he mentioned earlier, there's a lack of mentorship, there's a lack of artist development. Back then, artist development meant something. Like, your rookie album was your rookie album to introduce you. Your sophomore was to kind of establish you. Your third and fourth albums were kind of your prime. Fifth and sixth, you were still streaking, and then you kind of fade to black on albums 7 and 8 and kind of on your way out. It's not like that anymore.
But because music is so easy to release. That's my
point. So these otherwise 10, 15-year careers are now shortening to 3-4 year careers.
100%.
Because there's no artist development in existence anymore, right? When we hear a Travis change his sound, when we hear a Kanye change his sound, a Jay-Z changes sound, it's always, we want the old shit.
We can't get the old
But they're also the names that have gone on to last 5, 10, 15, 20, 25 years.
Yeah, you got to change your sound
and we always have that conversation about changing sound, right? So artist development is super important. So I think that's something that's, very important and something that he was very right about saying.
Honestly, I've been in social media for a lot of what happened to music.
100% agreed. Let me get on with some of the more interview stuff. So Charlamagne asks, of course, would you ever sort of blend both worlds in terms of Lyor's past with Lyor's present and sign an artist straight to YouTube Music? He says, no, I think labels are very important.
That's some collusion shit, man. That's some collusion
Yo,
shit.
fam.
Man said, I won't sign you directly, so sign to a label, and I'm gonna
And then I'm going to work with the label, get more money off the label, maybe.
pretty much, or I don't know, but I feel like that's some collusion.
So you're already feeling some of the question marks around some of the things. Okay, so now we're going to get to the controversial part of the interview, because interview is about an hour 10 minutes.
Jeez.
The first 45 minutes is kind of history as well as some of the YouTube stuff, and then the remaining 25 minutes is more of the controversial stuff. So Angela Yee asks him, if an artist is talented but you don't agree with his or her personal views, does it matter to you, or is it all about the talent? Let me ask that question to you first.
Okay, it was as a label. If I had like $1 million label, I'm not no.
What would you do? Just you, you're not the artist. You are the label. So if an artist,
It depends on the
is
size
talented,
of my label. If my label is universal,
Mm-hmm.
fuck, I'm signing like I don't give a fuck. That's money. If
Okay.
if my label is JustShola Records with one artist, then I gotta say no, because I still gotta build my brand and my rep. And
Okay,
I'm not gonna sign a artist that's gonna bring negative brand. To
I kind of get what you mean. So
What would you do?
I wouldn't. I mean, I wouldn't.
Even if
unless,
you're like the CEO of Universal, Sony. Sony.
yeah, no, I think you don't want people that intentionally bring a bad rap to your name. And this is no. I'm trying to
You
think of an
also have
example.
300 people unsigned to your label, and you really can't.
Yeah, but again, it's what's your goal, right? If your goal
make
is
as much
just
money as possible.
but it shouldn't be. It shouldn't be that, because how much money do you really fucking need? If I run a successful company that operates in the right way and operates ethically and signs the right artists and has artist development, and all my artists have lawyers and accountants and financial literacy people and financial development people and financial planners, and I walk away with 3, 4, 5 million a year, I'm good.
Yeah, but
good.
these labels don't see it that way. These labels give you a
But that's what I'm
shitty
saying,
financial planner and
But that's what I'm
pocket
saying.
most of the cash.
If I'm in that position,
that's
I would
true.
want to
That's you.
change
the way it's
the
run.
norm, right?
Yeah.
It's not. We shouldn't just say, "Oh yeah, we'll do it because it's norm."
Yeah, I mean, that's true.
Someone's got to be a disruptor, right? And that would be me, I guess.
I'll give me that money.
So his response was, "No, it's all about talent. I respect their personal views, but I've never been silent. That's why I've touched more rap music than everyone combined."
Okay, Leo.
And he paused for a bit, and he might be spitting facts, which is a scary part.
I do believe him.
He says, "I tell bad news faster than good news. I tell people when they ask me exactly how I feel. You can't be a rapper and have a cup in front of me. I tell you, that's liquid heroin. You're a junkie." Fam, why are you so angry? I feel like my silence would be complicit. It doesn't matter if I work with them now. If I see a cup, I'm going to tell them. So Angela
You talking about lean?
Probably.
Okay.
Angela Yee then asks him, would it concern you enough to not work with someone? And this guy said, no.
It's money,
No.
bro. It's money.
No.
That's why I know Lyor Cohen is always in business mode.
No.
That's money.
It's part of, he's like, you know what he said though? It's part of the math in my brain. Nothing good happens with junkies. I don't like giving up on people. And then he says, I don't like giving up people. And then he kind of corrects himself. I mean, I don't like giving up on people.
This is all
okay.
a business. Like that last paragraph you just read is just shows his business. Like he's all business. He's all about money.
All business. Okay.
He's the person that will screw you over on your contract.
Right.
For money.
And I'm glad you're saying that, because that's going to tie into my final question. So he does, they start talking about the opioid and crack issues. He says, it's basically the biggest issues that he's ever seen in his life. And then Charlamagne basically says, so like, why do you sign artists that promote it then?
Because they give me money.
And he's like, I already answered your question. You weren't paying attention. She asked me talent or issues. And I said talent. I can't give up on people. And then Charlamagne's like, don't you think that's a little hypocritical? He's like, opportunistic, yeah. I got people to feed. I got a business to run, just like you said, right? So that's part of the controversy, is that choice of talent over personal, I guess, if you want to call it that.
He's straight business. It's because of him people's careers last 5 years, because he's the key person of, oh, you're hot right now, let me take advantage of this heat and get as much money as I want off you, and when you fade to black in 5 to 6 years, I'm gonna just drop you off my label because you signed a contract that says I can do
Pretty
that.
much. He only sees it as a contract, right?
Mhm.
So,
That's what he- I don't care
and
what
it's
your personal
fair.
issues.
It is fair. But again, I want to finish up the last controversial part here. So Charlamagne says, after all this conversation, Charlamagne's like, oh, Lyor, you're gonna make Dame Dash get this clip and call you a culture vulture, which he did.
Mm-hmm.
And Lyor was like, who's Dame Dash? You brought him up. I don't even know him. He's talking bullshit.
That's
basically.
straight bullshit. He must have
Because
some
you
beef or something.
fucking know who Dame Dash is.
You cannot
Shut
be
up.
in music industry and not say I don't know
Yet
who
it's
Dame
funny
Dash
when
is.
the follow up question was talking about Rockefeller Records, and he's like, yeah, Jay, Biggs, Tata, all of them. So he starts name dropping, but you forgot Dame.
Yeah, just know he does not know who Dame
Right.
is. Like,
It's also interesting to note when he mentions, remember his position right now in YouTube Music. When he mentions streaming platforms, he only makes mention of Spotify and Apple. He doesn't mention Tidal.
they must have some kind of beef or some sort of.
That's what I'm saying. It's so interesting. Like this guy's, I can smell through all the 48 laws of power with this guy. I can smell through it. Shit, I had some funny Dame Dash shit, man. I fucking forgot what he responded.
I heard he responded.
Oh man, he did end up posting the clip.
Come to that.
Fuck, I want to find that shit. Oh, I have it.
Lyor Cohen. Thanks to Lyor Cohen.
Lyor.
No, but he said thanks to Lyor.
Oh,
hashtag
yeah.
Lyor Cohen.
Hashtag Lyor Cohen. So first he did an interview. I'm doing my Googles right now as I speak. He did an interview with Power 106. Not to be confused with Power 105.
Power 106. I actually took confused with Power 105. I was like, oh, Charlamagne and Nancy again?
Yeah,
Is that what you doing recently?
So he said, first he said with them, I've been trying to warn you guys about this Culture Vulture clown for years. Now, mind you, I technically didn't read it. I technically listened to it. I listened to Culture Vultures, the book. Really good book.
Is that Dame Dash book?
That is the Dame Dash book.
Okay.
Very good book, very informative book, just in general, as a general read. But he mentioned it. He's been mentioning this for years. He's been public about this for years, similar with the Lee Daniels stuff.
Dame Dash, that Lyor Cohen
is a culture vulture, yeah. So he's like, I've been warning about this culture vulture clown for years. He tries to make us believe he's better than us, but he's a lame. Trust me, I know. He's a cheater and isn't respected by his own kind that sits in front of us. He personally fucked up shit because we were bigger than him. You know how they do. Classic culture vulture shit. Divide and conquer. His business model keeps us dumb. His business model is to keep us dumb and to take our money and feeds his family. And whoever edited this website, terrible.
Get fired?
Fired. But you kind of get the tone of the message, right? And then he says, see the God, thanks for exposing this clown and asking questions that other people had on him on his show that didn't. Good work. So that's a big one. Dame Dash, big up Charlamagne. Shit, that's good.
Hey,
okay. Shout out to him. And then she sort of followed that up as well via Instagram. He posted a picture. He reposted the interview itself, or I guess the controversial part of the interview, where Charlamagne basically ended off the video clip with, oh, you're going to get Dame Dash tweeting about this one. And he basically did, right? So where is that shit once my Googles load up?
Googles. Come on, Googles. Hurry up.
To your Googles. Where's this shit? Oh yeah, another thing on the fucking thing, man. Lyor Cohen took a pic with Kanye. Said he didn't realize Kanye had a MAGA hat on.
That was bull. That is straight bullshit.
Yeah, guys, a
And
lie.
you don't know man's wearing a MAGA. You don't look at a man's hat when he walks.
That is a liar.
I look at
And you know
people's
it's
hat.
red hat too. But anyway, so the comment with Dame Dash, he reposted the clip of the interview on Instagram, and he called the music exec a culture vulture again. So he said, like you were saying, thanks to Lyor Cohen for proving my point about, in true culture vulture form, they make money off of us and then try to erase our true history and act like the real ones never existed. Facts.
True, exactly. I can get the off from the interview.
Right? He said, look how he disrespected your brothers. Stay tuned. Culture Vulture book. He added the page, I guess. Get some extra sales, why not? And y'all see he's unapologetic. He pays his bills at the expense of us. Big question is, why can't he sell any rock music? Why can't he eat off of his own culture? Stop fronting on my people like you mean something. Your own culture laughs at you.
Jeez.
Is Lyor Cohen a culture vulture?
I will agree, yes. This interview just proved everything Dame Dash said.
Pretty much.
He says, I don't care about your personal issues. How much money can you make me at the end of the day?
So the argument that some people have made online that support Lyor Cohen, typically older people, because he's a historic name in hip hop. If somebody starts getting at Kanye, you're defending. I'm talking about like if a really young person gets at Kanye, you're defending. Really young person gets at, yo, I seen a friggin' poll on Instagram that said Jay-Z is a top 3 rapper of all time, agree or disagree, and like 86% of people disagreed.
I can see that.
Fam.
I can see that. I can see why people disagree. I would not even try and make it my top 3 list.
Just Drake's side.
I'm never gonna.
Drake's side of that.
I'm not gonna argue that, but I can see why people say
the argument against sort of Lyor Cohen being a culture vulture is that people are saying this is an exec thing. This is not a Lyor Cohen thing. This is not Lyor Cohen being a culture vulture. This is a top level exec being an asshole, which they all are. Right? And so what they're kind of saying is they're kind of, indirectly saying, isn't Diddy the same shit? Isn't Hove at Rock Nation the same shit? Isn't
what's that guy?
Who else?
I know the guy with the glasses that went to Apple Music.
Dr. Dre?
No.
What's his name? Jimmy Iovine?
No, but Jimmy Iovine is the exact same thing.
Exactly. Right? So it's like, is this just top level exec stuff? Or is this Lyor Cohen being a culture vulture?
It's top level exec stuff that they would never say, and Lyor Cohen is just a scapegoat pretty much.
A scapegoat in a sense, I agree with that. I think the narrative obviously is going around because of Dame Dash, right? So, Dame Dash is responsible for that, and it's like, that's why people are saying it. And I think I kind of agree with it. I'm not even going to hate on it.
He's a scapegoat at the end of the day.
I want to speak about...
It sounds bad, and I don't like it.
I want to speak about the largest hive. So remember I said that last week about... It was 2 weeks ago about Sierra? I want to speak about the second largest hive on social media. I want to speak about the largest hive on social media.
The largest hive? Yes, go. There's only one hive.
Beyonce.
Jeez!
Beyonce herself is finally catching negative press on Twitter.
Yo, don't say that.
Now I say finally,
don't say that.
Not because I want her to,
it's because it's never happened before,
but because she is, right? So I want to talk about the largest hive, the real hive, the true hive,
the beehive.
The beehive. Remember I used to call that the Bayhive?
Yo, don't say that.
So this was an article posted on the Huffington Post, so pretty respectable.
Reputable, yeah.
Pretty respectable. It's not New York Times, but
it's not bad.
It's up there.
They do their research.
Exactly.
They do their Googles.
So, very important to note Beyonce's brand, right? So,
big brand.
When you think Beyonce, you think pure, you think angelic, holistic, you think, clean, squeaky clean, right?
Yeah.
Very important.
Like heaven sent.
You get that? Yeah, heaven sent, right? So she has this athletic brand. It's called Ivy Park, named after.
Oh, really?
Blue
Is
Ivy,
it new?
Of course. Not new, but I mean, not
I've
like...
never heard of this. This is the first time I ever heard of it.
I remember hearing about it, I think a year or two back, but I never followed up on it. But nonetheless, they have a pretty established line now at this point of athletic clothing, right? And their sort of main goal, their quote-unquote mission statement, if you want to call it that, is to empower women to be the best version of themselves.
Shout out, okay.
Right? Not only physically, but, mentally healthy, emotionally healthy, physically, spiritually, bringing everything together to have that balance.
Yeah.
Right? Topshop, they're kind of like the only store that sells it. So like official distributor or like a manufacturing deal or something along those lines, right?
I gotta go buy a shirt.
I don't know if you want to buy a shirt.
Okay.
Because the shirts now are actually on sale at Topshop.
Oh.
If you go on the website right now. And the reason why they're on sale is because they've actually started to catch some negative backlash. The clothes are being made in Sri Lanka.
Jeez.
The women are being paid 69 cents per hour.
Gee, isn't that everything?
Right? Hold on. They have to live on the campus site that they work for, and those living conditions are pretty terrible. And they work about 60 hours a week. So you're getting as close as it gets to a sweatshop, if it's not considered a sweatshop already.
If it's not a sweatshop.
Right? So nonetheless, whether you call it a sweatshop or not, it's not even about that. I think we can all agree that it's very inhumane. It's a very unethical way of doing things. Right? So, like you said, isn't everyone doing this?
Yeah, Nike does it.
Right? Nike does it.
Being brought to life for doing it.
Adidas
They're not
does
going to
it.
stop.
Think about every sale you've had where you're able to cop a shirt for $15, $10,
definitely.
$5. There's a reason for that,
yeah.
right? It was made in a sweatshop, right? So
brands do that. It's cheap labor.
That's the thing. So it's not really surprising because everyone does make clothes unethically, right? And that's why you can find those sales, like I was saying. But you know what's actually surprising? Fashion Nova doesn't.
Oh, you got to do a Fashion Nova review.
Yo, Fashion Nova! Shout out to Fashion
Shout out to
Nova
Fashion
on
Nova,
that order.
man.
On that order,
Was a solid order, yo. Shout out to Fashion Nova. Your sponsor us. Get some food.
They make their clothes in the States.
Really?
Surprisingly.
Hey, good. You know, I might have to shop there more.
So it kind of does beg the question. Do you have to get those margins, Adidas? Do you have to get those margins, Ivy Park? Do you have to get those margins, Nike? Or can you just deal with volume the way that Fashion Nova deals with?
Well, I kind of see this like the whole Lyor Cohen situation. It's, yeah, you can, do you want to make, I see that, do you want to make 2 million profit or do you want to make 3 million profits?
Right.
That's why I see these big brands doing it as well. Like, yeah, we can do it in America or in Canada or wherever, but now labor's going to cost us $3 million more.
Okay, so
and now it makes our profit $3 million less. And
right.
I want that $3 million because I'm a greedy Fortune 500 country.
America.
Yeah.
Right? Or not even America, the world.
Yeah.
The world. There's a lot of greed.
Everyone wants the maximum profit they can possibly get.
And that's
they're not content with. And that's where I see the situation happening.
So let's link it more to a star, right? Because Ivy Park is linked to the star behind the name, Beyonce.
Yeah.
Adidas really isn't linked to a star. I mean, obviously they have stars on their roster, but if Adidas fails, you're not like, oh,
it's because of
Drake. You know what I mean? Like, no. So
when is that Drake Adidas line coming out? I thought it was going to come out with the album.
That's crazy. Kanye. Remember when Kanye said all Nike has is Drake? If Nike ain't have Drizzy, man, they would have nothing. Let's see how that line holds up.
Yeah, Drake left already.
Exactly. But fuck, where was I with this? So
related to
let's link it more to an individual, right? So let's say Rihanna's Fenty line. Now, I'm aware that this is not true. What I'm about to say is not true. So nobody get at me for this.
Someone's about to just, no one say context is key. Someone's just going to take a soundbite of
that.
And say,
just,
wow, you are haters.
Hey, listen, it ain't no problem. It ain't no problem. But let's say Rihanna's Fenty line, right? Her makeup line was tested on animals. Damn. As an example. There'd be some outrage.
Yeah, definitely.
But I'm pretty sure everyone would get over it.
Yeah, it's the world we live in.
Right? Now, here's the thing. So, that's with Rihanna. This is with Beyonce.
Yeah, they're going to get over it, man.
You think so?
Yeah, people are going to go to Topshop right now and buy it because it's on sale.
That's true, man.
Yeah.
That's so true.
At the end of the day, there's things in this world I feel like we can't change.
Right.
And this is just one of them. Like, Beyonce's going to be like, all right, like, then don't buy my shit. I'm still going to make my money.
Did you see the picture that's floating around on
who
Twitter?
Runs This World? And then it's
And then so it's a Who Run the World picture. Beyonce is holding a whip in her hand. A Sri Lankan woman is sitting down, sewing some clothes, and I'm not even looking at the pic. I'm just memorizing it right now. Hold up.
I literally just saw part 5
and then
minutes ago.
there's a shackle on her ankle with a large weight, I guess, that says Ivy Park on it.
No, damn. That's why I was like wondering why it said Ivy Park on there.
Yeah. So, that's starting to float around. It's very interesting that this has been kind of quiet on social media. This hasn't really been discussed on social media at all.
Beyonce don't do anything bad.
That's the thing.
Beyonce don't do anything bad, man.
That makes for a very interesting conversation. So I guess what I want to ask. So first of all, like from a price standpoint, their product is right in line with, like, based on their price, you're not really too surprised.
How much is like a t-shirt?
I looked at the pounds. I looked at the British pound price. Regular price about £19. Sale price about £14. Now, if you do the conversion, I think £19 is something like 32 Canadian dollars.
It is 3208.
God damn. I'm great.
I would have said it.
So $30 for a tee, that's kind of expensive. Fuck, nah,
But it's Beyonce, you know, it's Ivy Park.
But that's what I'm saying. It's expensive, but it's not outrageous.
Yeah, it's not outrageous, yeah.
So my question to you is this: Beyonce's image, squeaky clean image.
Mm-hmm.
Should she have the responsibility of addressing this?
No, you just gotta let it slide. Should she? Yes, but she's not going to.
But so you said she should. What should she do? Like, if you're in the should camp of Beyonce, what are you telling her to do?
Blame your manager or whoever is managing your production. Like, I had no idea. They just told me this is how much it will cost.
Dumb.
They just told me this is how much it will cost to build a shirt. I was fed like false information. It is XYZ that gave me this information, and it turns out it was negative. I have since been in talks with the proper teams and
now
under
you're
the proper
twisting it.
management, and that person has been reprimanded.
Okay.
And I look.
All right. So are you changing where your clothes are made?
You gotta have to still.
That's what I'm saying.
You're gonna have to.
I think she's gonna have to.
But I'm assuming she ain't selling that well, so lower the production.
Didn't her and Jay-Z just buy a $150 million condo? Not condo, sorry, house.
They bought that. I remember seeing that somewhere.
That's crazy.
How much do you think? How much do you think is in their bank account combined?
My God.
Like you right now, there's been their bank statements.
Bank account, so not net worth. So we know their net worth is over $1 billion. Now.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
So
Jay-Z's at like 900 mil.
Beyonce wants to print her bank statement today. Jay-Z wants to print his bank statement.
And you
how much is
combine them.
Beyonce's? Or actually combined.
All of her bank statements combined.
Yes.
I think they got, not including investments, just cash. Checking
like,
account, savings account.
Yeah, if they were to pull out all the cash, how much will it be?
Checking and savings, I think they got 20 mil.
Fuck, I think they have more. I think they're almost at 100 for some reason.
I think most of their money's invested though. I don't know, but you do need cash to invest.
Wait, but at Jay-Z's stats, he probably just goes to a bank and says, "I need 20 million."
That's true. They give him a loan. They give him a loan.
They're like, "Yo, sign here, bro."
They know he's good to pay it. Yo, that's wild.
That's crazy. I think they're chilling at 80 million in the bank accounts.
So let me ask one more question about Beyonce, then we'll move off of it. Does Ivy Park, the brand, deserve criticism?
No. Does Nike deserve criticism?
That's my point, right? So does
they get it, but at the end, do they deserve it? Yes.
Mm-hmm. Should Beyonce's brand get criticized heavily until she makes a change?
No.
It's just an uproar.
It's just
uproar and make them make the decision.
Unfortunately, it's life.
I agree.
Unfortunately, it's life.
I agree. I mean, it's like you said. It's
something you just got to deal with.
It's Adidas.
Don't buy it if you don't support it. At the end of the day, don't buy Nike. But yeah, everyone wants to rock the latest J's.
It's like talk with your pockets, right?
Yeah, talk with your pockets. That's perfect. Talk with your pockets.
Jeez, that's a hashtag. Talk with your pockets.
Jeez.
Hashtag talk with your pockets. Yo, you know who's talking with their pockets?
Ooh, it's not me for sure. Because my pockets hella empty.
Like I talk it. Nah, man, let's get into some random thoughts. See what else we got on the docket for y'all, the viewers.
Shout out to y'all.
No, we didn't even say. We didn't even say shout out to the day one viewers.
Shout out to day one viewers.
Shout out to the day 13 viewers when the price went up. Shout out to the day 14 viewers from last
that
week.
bought us when our IPO just set up.
Shout out to the day 15 viewers because we out here. You already know what it is.
Stock price is increasing, y'all.
You already know what it is. But let's get some random thoughts, man.
Let me see what I have for random thoughts.
The funniest shit ever.
All right.
Ever.
Go.
Is that Blake Griffin shit.
Yo, shout out to his baby moms, man. She laughing. And that's not her only child. She gets I think like 37,000 or something like that from Matt Leinart, the football player.
Oh shit.
Yeah, he had a kid with her.
So why does Leinart have to pay 37 stacks and Blake has to pay 200? Well, give him some context.
Because Leinart, I don't even think if he is in the NFL, is in a practice squad. So he ain't making
True.
Blake Griffin $35 million a year. Blake Griffin's making $35 million a year,
That is very true.
and I'm pretty sure she sold it as he cheated on me because that was the rumor that he was cheating with
Kendall.
Kendall. Yeah, Kendall Jenner. She probably lawyered up nice. The lawyer probably sold it that he's a deadbeat dad.
Yo.
And
Because he's never there.
the judge was like, here you go.
Yo, that's
$3 million a
fucking
year.
funny.
Can you
So
imagine getting $3 million a year, bro? I'm not working.
I have some fun facts for you.
Yo, go.
I have, as I freestyle this, the top 10 players that Blake Griffin's baby mom makes more money than.
Yo,
So
let me
Blake
end
Griffin's
this.
baby mom makes $258,000 a month, right?
month,
So that's
bro.
3.096. So basically
Almost 3
$3.1 million a year.
Just over $3
Right?
million.
$4,000 away from $3.1 million a year. She makes more money than, you know who barely makes more money than her?
Who?
Donovan Mitchell.
Damn, man was almost won Rookie of the Year.
He makes $3.11 million. She makes more money than Terry Rozier.
Damn, man went to conference finals.
She makes more money than Elfrid Payton.
Yeah,
She makes more money than Jakob Poeltl.
Yeah, fuck.
She makes more money than Seth Curry.
Damn, but yeah,
DeLon Wright. Shout out to 55 Savage. Get it.
we kept him, right?
Yeah, of course.
Yeah, shout out to him.
She makes more money than Manu Ginobili.
So it's ball spots.
Bobby Portis.
Damn.
Who else she makes more money than? She makes more money than Melo.
Isaiah Smith. Because Melo's going to take the veteran minimum,
Yeah,
right?
she makes more money than Melo.
Damn.
She makes more money than
Smith.
Larry Nance Jr. Isaiah Smith.
Sorry, Isaiah Thomas.
Oh, I was about to say Isaiah Thomas.
So
Yo,
she makes more than Kyle Kuzma and Josh Hart combined.
yo, that is insane.
Shout out to Blake Griffin's baby moms.
Shout out to her lawyer and no shout out to his lawyer.
Yeah, I don't know who his lawyer was, but yo, you need to fire that dude.
Yo, fam, fire him
Fuck.
ASAP as soon as possible. Shit, man. I don't know if I got any random thoughts.
I
I'm trying
have
to
one
think,
more
man.
thing. I
What you
actually
got?
thought about it during the week when I was re-listening to our podcast. Because yes, I listen to our podcast.
What you
to
got?
improve
Yeah, we
ourselves.
listen to our own shit.
We talked about notoriety and integrity.
Uh-huh.
And could notoriety turn to integrity? Can you start off with
Yes.
And I was going to bring the two people that came to mind was
I have two people in mind as well.
Charlamagne being one of them.
Okay.
Because Charlamagne used to be wild on
Yeah,
it.
and
You went
then
to Breakfast Club interviews for Charlamagne. You didn't go for Yee and
The
Envy.
interviewer or the interviewee
Yeah.
or
You went because you knew Charlamagne was going to say, according to Gossip,
Yep.
you gave Tristan a 2-piece. Or
Yeah,
Tristan
yeah,
gave you
yeah.
a 2-piece. Is this true? But now, he's not going to go like that. He's all about integrity and his money. And
So Charlamagne definitely rebranded and turned notoriety into integrity. That I heavily agree with.
another person that was Tekashi in a weird way.
I'm about to say the same thing.
Guys, we did not plan this. This was not planned at all.
This
This
was
is just a
not
random
planned.
topic we're talking about right now.
Tekashi 6ix9ine is going through the perfect rebrand.
Yeah.
And I'm starting to like him a lot because of his rebrand.
Yep.
It's fucking smart.
They turned notoriety, and now they're
Like, he's smart. So why did you say Tekashi? Because you said kind of, and I agree with you.
because I don't really see I don't know where the integrity is yet there.
Okay,
But,
but
he's
what,
he's not doing the same shit he was doing last summer.
Okay.
He's not as notorious as
so how would you compare this summer versus last summer? Like, what do you see?
after his Chicago bullshit.
Well, yeah, okay. After
he's just he's gone off the radar. He's doing funny stuff now, like the running video.
comedy videos,
it's just, the
working with
random
the
shit.
YouTube people like Fatboy SSE and working
Yeah,
with, like those
when
types
he made a
of
joke
people.
about he made a skit about Juice WRLD. Kind of notorious, but it was funny.
Right.
Was it because Juice WRLD said some shit about him,
But see, the thing is that it's like you said. I think you brought up a great point. The notoriety has turned into potential integrity for him. I think what really it can be the official turnaround for him is the Angie Martinez interview, right?
I gotta read. I still gotta watch that.
That interview. Most people will agree that that's his most personal interview.
He became
Today.
wholesome, right?
Became wholesome because it's a little Spanish kid talking to a Spanish auntie.
Yeah.
Like, she's gonna get everything out of him. You know what I mean?
I feel you.
So it's like that was his most personable, most approachable interview, and it was like
He wasn't putting on an act.
That's
He
what
was
I'm saying.
He was being himself.
exactly. So he's being himself as much as he could. So it's like, yo, that's a good interview. right? But yeah, man. So I mean, like with Tekashi, it's like, yo, the rebrand is real. I see
Yes.
it. He can't hide it. Shout
His
out to
label's doing
Angie
a good
Ma.
job, though.
Yo, they're doing a great job.
His management's doing a great
They're doing a
job.
great job with them. What was it, Treyway or whatever?
Treyway.
'Cause let's think about his run recently. The Fifi,
Ooh,
the
good
Angie
job.
Ma interview, the comedy skits or
Yeah.
whatever.
The running shit, all
The
that
running
bullshit,
shit.
yeah.
Yo,
He's changing his style up.
the rebrand is real.
Yo, it's real.
Shout out to Tekashi 69, man.
Let's get into some CCS.
Let's get into that CCS. You already know what it is, guys. The
You
crazy
already know.
Canadian shit. It's your weekly, your non-typical stories, your eye-raising stories, your what the fuck stories from right here in Canada. Sometimes they're a little more lighthearted. They're a little bit more fun. Sometimes they're a little bit more directed at an individual. Sometimes they get a little bit more serious. You had something on the docket for this.
I don't know if this one's fun. I don't know if it's serious, but
It's a little bit of everything.
it's a little bit of everything. First of all, everyone that says Toronto's soft, we're about to tell you why we're not soft.
Well, the amount of violence in the city alone. But
Well,
beyond
minus
that,
title is Toronto Drug Squad seized a $1.3 million house.
which doesn't sound like much. $1.3 million in Toronto is like $1.3 million house in New York City.
Yes.
Go ahead.
Just letting you know, it's
What else? What were you
a lot of
saying?
money. Sorry. 9 cars and a ton of massive and a ton more in a massive Project Switch raid.
Project Switch Raid.
So I'll give you a rundown. The Toronto Police Service released a statement this morning, well, it's probably a few days ago, regarding their latest drug and firearm investigation called Project Switch. In February, Toronto Police organized crime enforcement and Toronto's drug squad launched a joint investigation on an illicit, how do you say that word?
Man, you're killing me.
Illicit.
Illicit, yeah.
Drug network operating in the city. Last month, they joined forces with Toronto Police Asian Organized Crime Task Force, which I didn't know was a thing,
Wow. I didn't do all these task force.
and they seized a shit ton of drugs, a shit ton of firearms, and they found 5 guys were arrested, and they're looking for one more person.
Jeez.
They raided 11 houses in Toronto. Holland Landing, do you know where that is?
Holland Landing is by Newmarket.
Okay.
Yeah, I used to work there. Yo,
Mississauga?
client, I'm not gonna say what I do.
People?
When I used to work in Newmarket, I would sometimes see the address Holland Landing, and it was like 10 minutes away.
I've never heard of it before. I thought it was like one of those, was it Carter's Landing?
Oh, what
those
are those?
restaurants, the landings.
Arthur's Landing.
Yeah.
That's jokes.
Mississauga, Concord, and
It's like
Woodbridge.
saying Concord. That's a perfect
Oh,
example.
it's like
What's
a city
Concord
in-
again? Concord is Vaughan.
Yeah, it's like Vaughan. It's like a city in Vaughan.
Yeah, but they call it Concord, and then Woodbridge, like they're not the same thing. So in these 11 search warrants, what did they find? Because I read this and I was like, wow.
2 kilograms of cocaine,
52 kilos of that cocaína.
7.4 kilograms of heroin,
Jesus Christ.
3 kilograms of MDMA, 43 kilograms of cutting agents, which honestly I don't know what the
no idea
hell
what cutting agents
is.
are.
I didn't
but,
want to Google it.
I don't even want to Google it. It's better that I don't know.
Exactly. 9 grams of, I can't even say
What's
this
that?
word.
Phenacetin? Phenacetin?
Oh, y'all
Whatever.
are on some crazy shit all of a sudden. And of course, 2.5 kilograms of hashish oil, which I don't think they were selling.
Probably not. If it's only 2.5 kilos.
The Toronto police revealed.
Hold on, they found the next shit too.
I
9
missed-
handguns,
9 handguns.
16 rifles, and 2 fucking crossbows. Now, this sounds like the perfect inventory. If I was playing fucking
5.
GTA 5, Call of Duty, Fortnite.
You're not touching me with all this
you know what I mean? Like,
Switching guns like it's nothing. Got crossbows
God
too.
damn. Ugh. That's nasty.
Finally, the Toronto police revealed that they're still searching for one more individual connected with this investigation, a 34-year-old that goes by the name of I Ain't No Snitch. So if you want to go find out who he is, go do your Googles, because
Do your
I ain't snitching on his
Googles. I
name.
ain't no
I don't know where
snitch.
he is.
We don't know what we're talking about. We don't even know if this is a real thing.
We don't know.
Nah, we don't fuck around with none of that mess, man.
I just thought it was not cool, but something.
That's crazy, man.
It was a few since February. They've been working on this.
That is crazy.
Do
Like,
you think we have a drug ring in? Just not as big as.
I think we do. Yeah, I think Toronto has a lot of shit that's starting to come to light now. You know what I mean? Like, I think the violence is, and this is not in a promoting way. This is not saying it as if it's a good thing.
We're just talking about the city.
It's obviously not. I think that, I think Toronto has all of these things that we see on TV, these things that we see in movies, we see in, some of our favorite classic shows. I think Toronto has it all. Right?
And now it's just coming to light.
Exactly.
Now we're becoming, like you said last episode, a global city.
Exactly.
Before we were just this little city in Canada.
Before we were like that, we were like a CJ McCollum. We were borderline all-star, right?
And now
I like CJ McCollum a lot, first of all. But we were borderline all-star in the public's eye, and now we're like bona fide superstar KD. You know what I mean? Like, in terms of the city of Toronto. So it's like
glowed up.
We're seeing it more. We're just seeing more of what Toronto kind of already had.
Damn, that's crazy.
And
man.
as it gets bigger,
it's only going to get.
It's going to get just more of it.
That's true, and we're going to start reporting
so,
more of it. Well, stay safe, people, man. Don't do finagilins and cutting agents.
Yo, you definitely have to stay out there, or stay safe out there, man. But you know what? That is going to bring us to the end. Unfortunate end, guys. Unfortunate end of another episode of the True North Views podcast. Now, don't forget, you can follow us on our socials, on Twitter and on Instagram at True North Views, all one word, TrueNorthViews. As we mentioned at the beginning of the show, if you do your Googles and search True North Views Podcast, you will find us on many different platforms. Player FM, Castbox, SoundCloud, iTunes or Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Google Play. We're out there, man. We're out there. The YouTube is coming slowly but surely.
Website's coming slowly but surely.
The website is coming slowly but surely. Let us know if you guys want to see some merch or some shit, man.
Oh, yo, merch.
Goddamn.
Nice.
Shit.
Actually, I'm done. I'm not gonna say anything.
Don't bring it to light.
I gotta put some more work into this.
Don't bring it to light yet. Okay.
Before I say anything else, but
search True North Views, guys, especially on SoundCloud, especially on Apple Podcasts. You will find us both directly there. And then, like I said, if you do your Googles on us, True North Views Podcast, you will see some of the other platforms that we are on. And most importantly, guys, continue that conversation by telling a friend to tell 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 a friend. The 6 degrees of separation, guys, as usual. Gotta have that 6 degrees, man. What did it say? What did they say? If you tell 6 mans to tell 6 more mans, and then you wash, you rinse, you repeat, and you recycle.
Don't forget the recycle part.
Don't forget the recycle. Everyone's going to know about us. And that's a good thing for everyone. So shout out to the day 1 listeners. Shout out to the day 13 listeners.
Day 15.
Shout out to the day 15 listeners. If this is your first time, you've made it to the end. And we thank you. Shout out to y'all. But
give
as
us feedback. You heard our socials. Give us feedback. Trust me, there's no better feeling than getting the feedback and us saying, oh, yeah, all right, that's true.
We are tailoring the show to you.
Exactly.
So you guys tell us what you want to hear, what you don't want to hear. We got to be a little bit more consistent in asking you guys what you want to hear. So that's something that we're going to make sure we commit to. But again, just keep that conversation going, keep the discussion going, and we'll make sure to give you shout outs. Like our guy Jay to the Lawson. Shout out to you.
He has a Twitch thing too.
Hey, does he?
He has a Twitch thing. So go follow the man on Twitch or go watch his Twitch. He does video games. I don't know what games he plays.
Shout out to you, Jay to the Lawson.
Yeah, shout out to Jay to the Lawson.
But as usual, guys, I go by the name of Harris.
You can call me JustShola.
And tell them that number 1 rule.
Watch out for them wastemans, yo.
Watch out for the wastemans. It's Caravana weekend.
Hey, yo,
stay safe. Stay
get the
cool.
Bubbles out there.
Get your bubbles.
But make sure you don't get them. Make sure you tell them how to gun.
And report live to True North Views and tell us about your experience.
Tell us about your Caravana experience.
Stay safe, everyone out there. It's episode 15. It's True North Views Podcast. Escape.